everybody, and welcome to Reaction Shots, the movie and TV podcast that comes out roughly at the end of every month.
Boring scheduling conflicts.
Yeah. I am Isla Hink, joined by Michael Huber.
Hello.
Hello. And Matt Walden.
And this fella.
That old fella right there, that old bag of rocks.
I am an old fella at this point. Y'all have no idea.
You're marginally older than I am. Only just. I always love your Jowday pillow back there. Some say Judy.
Judy, what's that?
Isn't that the Black Lodge? Like, isn't that the Judy symbol back there?
Yeah,
The Twin Peaks?
yeah, from Twin Peaks. Yeah. First I didn't catch it.
Jowday. Anyway, we are here this month to talk about apocalypses, televised and film apocalypses, because Fallout just happened and Furiosa, a Mad Max saga, is coming out here in 19 days.
Coming up.
I'm excited. I hope it's good. I don't know.
I hope it's good.
We're all skeptical.
Second trailer looked cool.
The first trailer looked a little unfinished, but you know, that's trailers. We have a little bit of news in the news section that I prepared. I don't know if Huber, you prepared any.
I got a couple.
Okay, cool. And then, yeah, we asked our patrons at patreon.com/reactionshots for their opinions on their favorite apocalypses. And we also got a few comments about which apocalypse we think is most likely and where people would go to try to survive. And then a few just kind of bonus things. Yeah. So without further ado, Matt, what have you seen lately that you liked or hated or in between?
Well, I made a top 10 apocalypse movies.
Well,
I'll say
that's
that for
later.
later. Yeah, I'm just saying I made a top 10.
Ooh,
So
I should
hang on.
make a top 10 too.
Well,
I'll
hopefully
try to come up with
the apocalypse won't happen before I get to my top 10. I don't know. It's touch and go every day. It really is. I watched that doomsday clock that the atomic bulletin of nuclear scientists or whatever they're called. I watched that with fear and trepidation. I check in on it every week. I'm like, how many minutes till midnight are we? We're at 45 seconds.
I was going to say, we're into seconds now, aren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They love to
things are
scare me, and I
grim.
love to be scared.
it fuels us.
Yeah, movies
Fear.
that I've watched recently. So, Huber, I watched Late Night with the Devil.
I watched that
you.
last night.
Thank you for the
Oh,
tip. You watched it
yes.
too, so we
I
both
watched it last night.
Yeah, I watched it a couple days ago.
I hope you both loved it.
It was fun. So, I love the parts where they were in the actual broadcast. Those are my favorite parts.
Yeah.
The behind the scenes parts weren't as cool to me, but when they were in the like actual broadcast setting of the time, that was cool. I love those.
I had the same feeling because like it's not as egregious as my famous complaint for District 9 where it negates its own premise, but like it did take, and like I'm sure this is like a dumb filmmakery kind of a thing where it's like, okay, this is what, like 1978, like there wouldn't be this kind of like behind the scenes camera filming. Like there probably aren't, they wouldn't have a video, there aren't video cameras, you know, and they probably wouldn't waste the budget of filming, you know, with film behind the scenes. Like I would have preferred it if it was like it just stayed on the broadcast cameras and they were
Found
talking
footage?
between the breaks.
Like someone-
Like
Sure.
it was all just like they don't stop rolling during the commercials, but like, you know, because like this is what happens, you know, when you're shooting live now is like the camera keeps going, you just aren't broadcasting, you know, the commercials are happening, but you're still rolling. Like there's no sense in starting a new.
Bought into it because he was so famous and it was like his last show.
Sure.
So I thought it was like a special type of thing. Like they had never done behind the scenes like that before. Like they wanted to record the moment.
Okay, I would have liked them. Maybe they kind of say that, I guess, but like I would have liked it if they had kind of leaned into that a little more. Like if they had like acknowledged the camera and be like, don't film this. Like,
Yeah.
I'm talking about this. You know, like
That's a good idea. Yeah.
like
Kind
that,
of brush
you
them
know?
away. Yeah.
Yeah, like-
that would have been cool. But if you're just if you didn't catch the last episode, what we're talking about, Late Night with the Devil, it's a late night talk show, kind of like, it felt like Conan O'Brien in his scrappy days. You know, he was like the like, all you know, also ran late night talk show, trying to like claw his way up to the top.
Walker Texas Ranger lever.
Exactly, exactly, Huber. I love that. I love that on Conan. And then so to like get his ratings up, he has a young girl who claims to be possessed by the devil, and shit kind of goes wild. I do like the atheist that they have on, or like not that, you know, the skeptic guy.
Yeah. I saw a good article where it was like, put this character in every horror movie.
Just a guy being like, well, this doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, I mean, are you all familiar with the Amazing Randy, that real magician dude? So there is a real magician who was around like a decade or so ago, who was a skeptic and who went around like contradicting all these real con artists and magicians who tried to fool people, including Uri Geller, the person who could bend spoons, and his name was the Amazing Randy. There's a documentary about him called An Honest Liar, and he's like, I'm the only like person who's honest about conning people, because I'll be honest about what these magic tricks are, and I'll poke holes in everybody else who's a con artist. It's a really fun documentary, but he's that character.
So he's that, yeah,
he's that dude.
That's cool.
He's a cool, interesting dude.
All in all, I say I liked that movie. I wanted it to go like a little harder, which I guess is like kind of always my critique about horror movies that I've like heard about a lot before I see them, you know, like, cause everyone's always like, oh, you know, get parasited a little on it. But like, yeah, I really enjoyed it. And like the premise was good, you know, and just to echo people, it's like the use of AI to make the little interstitial graphics.
That was weird. I didn't know
it was
that.
very like, they're very quick. Like I had thought that they used, like from the hubbub, I was like, okay, did they like make whole commercials like with AI? And it's like, there's still images that just like, welcome back to, they're like the station graphics basically. But at the same time, it's like, why not just hire somebody to do those?
Yeah,
like,
I don't get it.
They would have been better. Like if you look upon close inspection, you can see like, just like errors in the like skeletons and stuff. You're just like, that face is just jacked. Like there's no reason for this. Like, and they're not like complicated graphics. Like you could pay someone like a couple $100 because you know, a skilled artist, it wouldn't take them that long to do that.
That's
like
weird.
I don't know, it was weird, but whatever.
Yeah, worth checking out. It was fun.
I know
I love
horror
the
movie
concept.
endings are always extremely divisive. I feel like no one is ever really happy with the way a horror movie ends.
It's hard to live up to your promise of this is going to be horrific. It really is. It's hard to deliver on that because your imagination is almost always going to be worse than what they show.
Yeah.
That's a good call.
I thought this movie did a thing that I kind of like in horror movies where there's a moment, without getting specific so as not to spoil things for people, but there's a moment where I'm like, man, if this is the ending, this is going to suck. Like this is going to be lame. And then it keeps going and something way better happens. And like, I kind of appreciate that, you know, or, you know, I appreciate more when there's a moment where I'm like, is this it? What's happened? You know, like I like that kind of moment. And this kind of does that where, you know, it throws a curveball at you. And I like the end. The final line is really good.
Cool. Yeah. Yeah. It was cool. Thanks for the recommendation, Huber. It was a fun night watching it.
Wasn't me. Thank the movie
Huber,
makers.
thank you for directing the movie Late Night with the
Devil. Good job. I also saw Monkey Man in the theater.
I saw that too.
Monkey Man. You know, I wasn't sure how to feel about it right away. I wasn't sure because there was a lot to learn. I don't know about every country in the world's politics. I wish I did, but I don't. And I was like, I have the feeling this is on the good side. Like he seems to be fighting people doing bad things, but I don't know about all the world's politics. So I had to like do some homework after I read it. I was like, okay, because it just looked like a John Wick movie in the previews. And I was like, okay, cool, this is going to be fun. I was like, oh no, I need to study like ultra-right Hindu nationalism. And I'm like, is this representing trans teenage runaways properly? I hope so. And then so like I had to digest it a little bit. But I mean, that's cool that it's that substantial of a movie where there's a lot to like dig through and learn up on. Overall, I thought this was a good movie. You know, there are some like bumpy spots that could be ironed out.
Yeah.
But overall, it's a plus. It's a plus. It gets a like slightly hesitant thumbs up for me, but good. Like as I thought about it more, I was like, I like what this is doing. It took some big swings, and I think it should be trying to do the things it's doing. So I appreciated that.
Yeah, I felt, I would say maybe a little less positive on it, but like it's one of those movies that I really want to like more than I did, and like
I know what you mean.
And I think like I love Dev Patel. I think he's a great performer and like very, very talented. And like there were a few just kind of, this fell into a few traps for me that revenge movies often fall into, where like a lot of stories think that revenge alone is enough of a motivator to make me care about anything that's happening, and that's just not true. Like,
it is for me.
I mean, well, yeah, and for me, it just isn't. I find it to be like not an interesting premise unless you also imbue character into it and like give me reasons. Yeah. And like the way this movie does that, because it does do that, but like it kind of like buries the lead a lot. Like the whole first, like I want to say 60% of the movie, I was like, okay, I'm interested in this guy, but I don't really care because I don't know who he is or anything that's happening. It's just kind of, and I think a lot of that is based on how it was shot, because it falls into a different trap that it was it was happening a lot in like the 90s in filmmaking, especially in like lower budget stuff, where it's like all the shots are a little too close and a little too shaky. And I think it's an attempt at imbuing some kind of dreamlike quality to things, and in action scenes, you know, to try to hype up the energy. But to me, it has the result of doing the opposite of both of those things. It kind of just checks me out, because I'm like, okay, things are so close up and shaky that it's like kind of hard to track what's going on, and it's less impressive. Like the car chases and stuff are less, and fights are less impressive, because it's like, I know you're just masking everything with cuts and camera work.
I think you do that when you don't have the budget to be able to do it in wide. When you can't hold it in master shots, then you just do close-ups. Yeah.
Which, like, again, I think this movie is great, and like I'm glad that it made that swing, but I didn't find it super interesting for most of it because of those things. But once they get to the like Matt kind of said it, but like when the trans characters are introduced, and like I don't think this is because I'm trans, but like it introduces a plight with characters that I can like care about and just be like, okay, they're being oppressed, they're gonna lose their building if they don't pay the bill, and then he goes out and he does a thing to help them, and like that, like just a few more things like that earlier, I think would have made me like engaged way more, like because he's just so angry. I don't know, but like it's and like you were saying, it's like the sections of RRR where it gets into like political stuff that I'm like, I have no idea what's being said here, but it seemed like it was on the right side of things, but
yeah, and I wasn't sure.
Interesting movie.
When as it was developing, I don't want to get too spoilery. I was like, is this like going to be like Mario's going to save the princess, and he's going to do all the work to save these characters? Is it like Damsel-y? But like seeing that they were empowered and got to do some badass shit themselves was cool. I was like, that was a nice touch, at least from my perspective. Yeah.
John Wick with an army of trans women and non-binary people.
Pretty awesome.
Pretty fucking sick.
Yeah, it was cool.
Pretty sick. Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah, I've been like, I've had the chance to go, and I just like haven't been feeling it. Like,
you haven't seen it yet?
Yeah.
No.
Oh, Hubie, I thought you saw
like
it. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you'll find aspects fun, and like it's so astoundingly violent, like in ways that I found shocking, in a way that it at least takes a stand. And at first I was like, this is too much for me, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, no, there are times right now in this world where it's worth taking a stand. I'm glad he did it.
There's
I compare that. Oh, sorry about that, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, some of the fight sequences toward the end are like, the back 30 minutes of this movie, I would say, is real good. And like the fight in the kitchen and like the improvised weapon he uses to fight one person in particular, I don't know how much I should say about it, but like the symbolism of that is very good to me. It's a shoe, let's say that.
Fights.
Yeah, it is. Anyway, I was gonna say that I would compare the stances that this movie takes, which are very, 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 very strong, to another movie which I saw, which I felt was a little muddled, so muddled that I felt like, what's your point you're even trying to make here? Which was Civil War, a movie that was kind of thrilling to watch in some points. Like it nailed it. It nailed it in that it was exciting and scary, but like its point was so muddled where I was just like, a little embarrassing for it in some points. But yeah, Civil War, I saw it in IMAX, and I have another great movie quote.
IMAX.
I love coming back from movies with quotes from other people that I overheard. So the trailers were starting, and I think it was like the new Planet of the Apes movie, and it was a dad to his son who was next to us in the row, and he said, "This is IMAX, Jonathan. This is the real deal."
Just
died.
Hell yeah.
That is so good.
It was
yeah.
so good. I was just like
real
instantly
deal.
brought out my phone and texted a friend, which I wouldn't bring out a phone during the actual movie, but I had to let a friend know. I was like, oh my God, this just got said next to me. Like maybe they hadn't been to IMAX before. It was the first time, but then I was like, hold on to your ass. This is IMAX. They're not screwing around here.
That makes me so happy. That's like
Yeah.
I'm like, we're back. Movie theaters are back, dude.
But so neither one of you have seen Civil War?
I saw it. I
has.
loved it.
Oh, you loved it. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
I haven't seen it yet. I want to, but yeah.
My biggest complaint is I didn't think it capitalized on the characters well enough. Like there's some pretty good characters here, and it just kind of like breezes over the surface for them. Like, let me get more into Kirsten Dunst's character and Wagner Moura and that other girl.
It's interesting. I had the opposite. I thought the characters were really well done, and the movie's political messages were such a mess, and that they were so muddled. And I thought like the points it was trying to make were nonsensical. But I
thought the end was sloppy for sure.
Yeah.
Specifically.
I mean, that's my like. I like Alex Garland's movies, but most of them I would classify the endings as sloppy.
It's sloppy for sure.
But I did like the how
like,
it
what would
focused
you
on
want out of
photojournalists. That
what
was
would you
cool.
want out of the political message though? Like more
Well,
like
something like Monkey Man, where it takes a stand, and this one, because like we're definitely like, not to be too political myself, like you're touching on such like an important issue in our country right now. Like it's scary.
Yeah.
Like we might like Civil
I mean,
War
I make
is not
that's why it was so scary.
unlikely. It's not
I make
unlikely.
the same
like,
joke
hopefully
about-
it doesn't happen. But like
I make the same joke about Civil War that I make about Handmaid's Tale, where it's just like, oh, I don't like documentaries.
Yeah, that's why I fucking loved it so much, because that shit felt so real. This movie was terrifying to watch.
It was terrifying. But then I felt like it was just so muddled, like the things about like California and Texas joining up, which is at the beginning of the film, like they're joining forces, and
which felt like a weird like Hollywood move to try to not like piss off half your audience by just having Texas and California
like
together
safe.
for sure. Yeah.
Well,
it made a
like,
lot of
I could
safe
see,
choices to not make points. Yeah.
Interesting. I could see, like,
It's fair.
just speaking realistically, like, if there was some kind of event that, like, people in the cities survived that people in rural areas didn't, I could see California and Texas aligning then, because, like, Austin's very liberal and LA is very liberal, but, like, the states in the whole are probably, like, maybe not as likely to come together, even though, like, California, I think, is the 4th or 5th largest economy in the world, and Texas is like 8th or something, like, including countries. So, like, on an economic standpoint, it would make a little sense, but
In terms of action scenes, though, and
So
directing and realism, it was terrifying and thrilling and exciting. All that stuff it did
'cause
correctly. It felt very real. Like I've
'Cause-
been in real shootouts myself, which are terrifying, and it felt
Jesus.
kinetic and awful, and like you were in the middle of it. So that it does very accurately. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of like that it wasn't beating me over the head with politics though, because it was like, okay, let me just think about this. Let me think about the way the world is right now and all the different people and what the fuck's going on. And that's why I was just focused on the characters mainly, because it was just like me and the characters. The characters being journalist, I loved, because it was just
Wasn't
like,
that
yo,
the main?
like we're here for
I
the
haven't seen it,
facts.
but like they're journalists, so like
Yeah.
my understanding from like interviews and stuff that I've seen is like the point it was trying to make is about journalism, not about
Yeah.
politics.
Which I fucking loved. I loved it so much. Yeah. But classic Garland, sloppy ending, left me
Somebody become a
Slightly-
sun monster in the last third act.
slightly unsatisfied because of
He
that.
did it again.
Again.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's my recent watching. Oh, War and Peace, also the Russian War and Peace. Watching that.
Nice. The two-parter?
No, it's like 4 parts.
like
It's a 7-hour
parts,
production. They spent
four
$1 billion
parts.
on it in
shit.
in the 1960s. Yeah,
Fuck yeah.
it's incredible. Yeah.
Huber, you got anything that we haven't touched on yet?
Rebel Moon 1 and 2 are fucking trash.
I didn't bother with 2 yet. I saw 1 back in the day.
2 was horrible. I waited to watch both back to back because I love a good 4-hour whatever it is. Like, just put me in a 4-hour movie and I'll soak in that hot tub all day.
How do you feel about a bad 4-hour thing?
But the world is so like hyper sci-fi that it just like takes me away, you know? And I had nothing to do that night. I was watching my grandpa. He went to sleep. So I was like, I'm going to watch fucking 4 hours. Like watching a 4-hour anything when you literally have no obligations, nothing to do. There's something very
Das
fun.
Bhutan.
Yeah. So I like that vibe. The first one, I was like, okay, this is all right. The world building is pretty solid. Like now the next, I thought the next one could like elevate it to like Swimming in Sevens.
Yeah.
And it just tanked it. It just tanked everything. The action was horrible. The characters, the plot, everything about this movie. I'm a Snyder stan. I fucking love Zack Snyder, except Sucker Punch. You can add Rebel Moon now to that list. It didn't make me angry though, because again, part 1 was fine, but part 2 specifically was pretty terrible. The whole point is that fucking like huge, like sci-fi fascists are coming to steal the grain.
This is what I was going to talk about, because like there's a bit of that in the first one, but I saw an article talking about that as like the core conceit that a giant like
They can travel across like huge space. Like what
a
the hell?
galactic fascist regime, and they need like the grain from like 4 fields worth of, and it's like they're gonna
backwater
nuke a
grain.
planet for it. It's just like, what?
It's like, did I miss something? Is the grain just like their excuse to kill these people? Maybe that was it.
In the first one, that was like in the first one,
Yeah.
that was my read, was like, it's not about the grain, it's about just we want to kill you and we need an excuse, quote unquote. Like that was kind of my.
But then the second one, they're like, yo, we can't bomb them because we'll destroy the grain. So it's like,
So it is about the grain.
Like, what the
Oh
hell?
my god, that's fantastic.
Yeah. And
I love that,
like sci-fi or like the slow-mo, Zack Snyder slow-mo.
dude.
I'm cool with it if you use it for like
A purpose?
scenes. Yeah, like
Yeah.
2 or 3 scenes. Dude, there's never been so much. This is probably the new record for a movie.
Yeah,
I would love to. I need to look that up because it has to be. I mean, there are scenes where someone is just standing there and it's slow mo for like 30 seconds, or like someone just running in slow mo for like 30 more seconds.
Well, and
They're
also it's
cutting
like,
grain in slow mo.
It's not only that, it's just it's so unmotivated. Like, do you know
It's so
do you know
unmotivated.
on your phone how you have like the super slow-mo like photo mode or whatever.
Yeah.
And when you film it, it has a bit of it in normal, and then it just at a random point chooses to activate and go into slow-mo, and then at the end it comes back to normal. It feels like that, but in the movie. It's just like it's like some process without a human mind just like accidentally activated slow-mo here.
Insane.
And it's so weird.
It's fucking insane.
It's wild.
Yeah, and like I think this is now one of the most expensive like Netflix movies. Like it just huge budget. Zack Snyder's talking about making like 6 of these. There's no way.
6
Snyder.
of them?
Yeah, there's no way, dude. Hang it up.
I mean, maybe they get watched a lot, even if they're not good.
The first one was in the top for a while. The second one was in the top for a while. The second one dropped out of the top 10 fast because I'm always looking at that.
Like how trustworthy are those metrics? Like Netflix self-reporting, you're like, okay.
True.
Like there have been some in the past where I'm like, nobody can be watching that. Like, come on.
I believe it because like usually the number 1 or 2 will be like some obscure ass true crime. So I'm like,
sure,
you're right. Yeah.
But it's like the thing you always say about like how Big Bang Theory is like supposed to be the most watched comedy on earth, but you've never met someone who watches it.
Not one. I've never met one human.
That's a good point. Yeah.
It's like it feels like we're living in some kind of conspiracy.
Yeah. Yeah. Crazy. Yeah, Rebel Moon is big. Skip. I watched every single X-Men movie. I know that was our last podcast was X-Men. I watched every single one.
Put you in the mood for it.
Yeah, and I love them.
Have you been watching 97 yet, or is that still on the docket?
I'm on like season 4 or 3 of X-Men original.
Oh, so you're gonna do a full run up?
Yeah, because I started it.
Dude, that'll be so good.
I started X-Men
picks
original
up so much from it.
Yeah, I wanted to be caught up before 97. I started it months and months ago, and then just like got busy with shit.
Yeah,
so I'm like still working my way through that. But yeah.
I'll say 97 is very good. There are.
So hyped.
Like I almost started crying in a recent episode.
I've been spoiled to hell, but whatever.
Not because of a spoiler, just because of like a scene, like the coming out metaphor. You know, is like it's very strong, and like there are scenes where it's just like, oh, I didn't expect it to go that way. Like,
I actually quite liked the like lesser X-Men movies more, not having the pressure of the MCU like connecting. I was just like, fucking go with it, whatever. I'm here for Hugh Jackman, like I don't care. And I even enjoyed some of the bad ones, like X-Men Origins Wolverine. I was like,
cultural re-examination.
X-Men Origins Wolverine reminds me of Thor 2 in that X-Men Origins Wolverine has some of the best Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, and Thor 2 has the best Loki. Some of the best Loki. Not anymore the best, but some of the best Loki. So it's worth it for like the character. So
I'll get into this in a thing that I'm about to talk about, but like some of those older movies, like even if there's one sequence where you're like, that was sick, like the rest of the movie,
there's
whatever, but
stuff.
that was sick. Like that kind of makes it worth it sometimes for me.
Yeah, and like Hugh Jackman, like love story, like Wolverine love story in this, like I was like, I think I was a little too hard on this. Like Deadpool is shit. There's some real shit parts.
Deadpool, it was so weird.
But I was like, this really isn't like terrible. Like X-Men Origins Wolverine, I always feel like is ranked as like one of the worst superhero movies ever made, and like one of the worst movies ever. And it's like, it's not that bad.
Again, it's a competitive race lately.
We always talk about
superhero movie.
Totally. We always talk about expectations, Isla, and just like going on with. It's why I was like Dune 2, 10 out of 10, disappointed. 10 out of 10 movie, but I was disappointed. Whereas like
watching Dunes 1 and 2 again in like a year or two is gonna feel great when I'm just like, fuck it, let's throw Dune on. Like when Sophia and I rewatched the entire MCU during COVID.
Yeah,
like divorced from the pressure of having to be good.
Totally.
We were like, yo, Ultron was all right. Like some of these are pretty chill, you know?
Yeah.
Like I hated this when it came out, but now I kind of dug it, you know?
And then lastly, I watched all 5 Final Destination movies. And for no reason whatsoever, Final Destination 5 might be the best.
I know the like twist of it, and I think that alone is so fucking cool.
Final Destination 5 is sick. Yeah, 4 is the worst, 5 is the best. 1 and 2 are amazing. 3 was a little worse than I remembered, unfortunately. That's the roller coaster, Mary Elizabeth Winstead.
And 2 is the logs, right? That like scarred everybody for life.
The last thing I'm gonna say.
The logs are the things I think of the most. Yeah.
Dude,
anytime we're driving
Matthew.
and we're behind a truck that's carrying like logs or weird shit, Sophia's like, we can't be behind this. We can't be behind this truck. Get up.
Well, you know what else scarred me is the descent. That thing that happens in the descent.
The rebar or whatever. Yeah.
That's when I stopped watching The Descent, because I get like kind of intense by jump scares, and like
it gets worse from there. The Descent may be the scariest movie.
That's when I turned off The Descent in college or whenever, because I was just like, nah, dude, like this fucking rebar.
That part is insane.
I saw it in the theater. It's great in the theater. It's so
I left Drag Me to Hell in the theater. It's one of the few movies I've ever like left. Because of the napkin jump scare, like a napkin is like blowing through the wind, and then it just goes pee toward the camera, and I'm like, all right, I can't.
That's
like,
a great claim, though.
I
left the theater because of a napkin. That's pretty
good.
Because of a napkin.
If you do not know what we're talking about, honestly, Google Final Destination 2 highway scene.
Yeah.
Just watch it. It is seriously like, I'll fucking parasite all of you. It is the number one, like, to top 3 car stunts. I'll give it that. It was insane. It holds like the hell up.
Rube Goldbergian like death sequences, the Final Destination series is for you.
Yeah.
I remember which one is it in? Where, because they'll every death will have like 6 fake outs, but they'll have like hints toward the real mode of death. So there's one of them where like the little letter magnets on the fridge spell out the word I, like your eye.
Yeah.
And there's like 6 fake out deaths after that. And then the guy gets it by getting a fire escape through the eye. And
it's like, the fire escape guy. Yeah, he's in the kitchen and it's on fire.
Way earlier. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy movie.
Super good. Insane. That's all. It's a lot of shit.
Kind of to piggyback on the like, this has some good parts, but is largely not very good. Sophia and I went and saw Phantom Menace in theaters yesterday for May the 4th. Which, like, you know,
it's the best.
I'm not a hater on
don't hurt me.
The prequel trilogy. No, I'm not a hater. I think they're cute and fun. I even think that the like detective Obi-Wan shit in Attack of the Clones is like kind of fun. I mean, the rest of that movie is whew, but like that stuff I like. And this one is like, it's just like kind of nothing but the pod race and Duel of the Fates sequences.
Dude, that's
still fucking hit, dude. They hit.
Isla, that is my defense of the Phantom Menace forever. Forever. Yeah. It is a clear 3-act structure, and all 3 acts fucking rip. The first act, the fucking...
I would say it's like a 6-act structure. It has 2 good parts.
Like the first giant chunk where they attack the ship, and then they ally with the Gungans. Awesome.
Yeah,
cool.
That part's all right. Yeah.
Then they're on Tatooine. Pod race, trying to get off this planet, RPG quest. Awesome. Then there's the giant big battle at the end. That's the whole fucking movie. It's amazing. It's the quickest 2-hour movie ever made. Ever.
I think it kind of drags, but I'm older than you. But yeah, the Phantom Menace, dude, it was pretty cool.
How was this sound for the pod race?
Here's the thing. It made me realize, because after the movie, they had a sneak peek of the Acolyte, the new Star Wars series, right?
Yeah.
And it was a unique AB because, you know, trailers are always loud as shit, and like everyone knows that, whatever. But it was a great example of the loudness wars and like how movies are mixed 25 years later, because Phantom Menace, we saw it in AMC Prime, you know.
Prime sound, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, great sound, fairly quiet movie.
Damn.
Like it was, you know, it was an appropriate volume. You know, it wasn't like, because sometimes you see a movie in Prime, you're like, oh my god, like John Wick 2, you're like, Jesus Christ, yeah, the one with the car, where you're like, this fucking Hemi is gonna deafen me. But like Phantom Menace, dude, like the loudness wars over the time, because then the Acolyte trailer is like, you know, Carrie-Anne Moss fighting a girl in a bar, and it's like uproarious, and this is like, the pod race was like pretty subdued. Wow. I was like, okay. And like maybe they just didn't turn the volume up all the way. I don't know, but
it's like a PlayStation 1 game. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Or a song from the 70s where you're just like, if you don't have Spotify normalizing your audio, it's going to be really quiet. Other than that, I've been watching the show Under the Bridge, which
I need to start that.
As a sapphic couple, like we are legally required, Sophia and I, to watch it.
Lily Gladstone, my favorite.
Oh, she's great in it. It's so funny because I don't know if this is a me thing, but it's just like teenagers are not interesting.
That's a you thing.
And they're really irritating. And like the better that you do at depicting an accurate teenager, it's a lose-lose, because it's like, I know this is accurate and this is probably how this girl would behave, and I hate her and I don't want to see her on this screen right now. Like, I can't care because she's so irritating. And I'm like, that's a huge success. You know, it's kind of a weird double-edged sword with characters like that, because Under the Bridge is about inspired by real-life case, sadly, involving this group of teenage girls who you know, some bad stuff happens, and it you know, has flashbacks to them and like talking, and they're just all so like realistically irksome that I'm just like, God, like, oh, and they do such a good job at like showing how like a kid's mind works, where it's just like, you know, they'll say stuff like, oh yeah, you take me to New York and introduce me to John Gotti or whatever, and I'm like, that is the dumbest fucking thing you could want to do, and yet I fully believe that that a kid would want that. Like, because it makes no, you know, and it's just such a funny thing, because it's like the more successful you are, the more irritating it is. It's just like, you know, to make a teenager like not irksome, it would have to be played by a 45-year-old, and you'd just be like, It's like, yeah, she's short, it works.
Yeah, count it.
So it's weird because it's like, I love the modern day stuff with the detective and the writer, like, yeah, because they're kind of gay, but like, or, you know, very gay, but like every other part of the show, I'm like, okay, all right, okay.
Yeah.
And then lastly, I just wanted to highlight this funny little thing. So I was looking, I don't know, I got an ad for the soundtrack to The Guest 2, and we've talked about The Guest on Reaction Chats.
Wait, there's a Guest 2?
Hang on, I'm getting there.
Okay.
So we've talked about The Guest on Reaction Shots before. It's an excellent movie that is so, like, the vibe of it is so weird that the first time I saw it, I was like, okay, seriously, what are we aiming for comedy, or are we going serious, you know? And like, but in like the best way. And upon subsequent viewings, you realize it's all very intentional. And there's a great Red Letter Media episode where they talk with the creator, one of the creators of it, and it's very, very good. Anyway, so I saw this ad for the soundtrack vinyl of The Guest 2. And for listeners, I was holding it up here. It's got, you know, your classic neon pinks and blues kind of art style, and you know, there's a bunch of redacted information on the inside, and knives and crosses and stuff like that.
Whoa.
And so I was like, I said the same thing you did, Hubie. I was like, wait, there's a The Guest 2?
Yeah, what?
And I Googled it, and it's like, Dan Stevens says, like, sure, he'd be down, but there isn't one. And I'm like, well, then what the hell is this a soundtrack for? And it turns out, as an April Fool's joke, they actually released, I'm holding it in my hands, a soundtrack to a movie that does not exist. And I've listened to it a couple of times, and it's pretty fucking sick. It's just like some sweet ass like synth shit, and it's a lot of fun. And it kind of like the track names sort of give you ideas about what the story would kind of be like. Like the second track is The Guest Returns, and the fourth track is Old Habits. Then it's like later on, it's like Grim Showdown and Carver's War Machine, and like David versus the Splinters of the Cross.
Is it from anyone related to the movie?
Yeah, it's from the same people, like the Adam Wingard and those guys. Like,
so sick.
Yeah, it's like official.
That's so crazy.
So it is the official soundtrack to a movie that does not exist.
I've been trying to go see Abigail. Dan Stevens is in that.
Oh yeah, I like Dan Stevens. I didn't get a chance to see Kong.
Same. I've been lagging.
Love Dan Stevens. All right. We've been chatting and John for 100 years already, so as usual. Let's get into some news here. I have a few, and then Huber, you got some, right?
Just a few, yeah.
Okay. We can alternate. You want to alternate?
Sure.
Okay. I'll go first. Kristen Stewart and Oscar Isaac are teaming up for hedonistic 80s vampire thriller Flesh of the Gods from Mandy director Panos Cosmatos, who also did Beyond the Black Rainbow. Big fan of fucking Mandy. And like the vibe of Beyond the Black Rainbow is incredible. Written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who wrote Seven and The Killer, apparently. Flesh of the Gods is set in a glittering 80s LA where married couple Raul, Isaac, and Alex Stewart each evening descend from their luxury skyscraper condo and head into the city's electric nighttime realm. When they cross paths with the mysterious and enigmatic figure known as Nameless and her hard-partying cabal, the pair are seduced into a glamorous, surrealistic world of hedonism, thrills, and violence. Quote, like Los Angeles itself, Flesh of the Gods inhabits a liminal realm between fantasy and nightmare, Cosmatos said. Both propulsive and hypnotic, Flesh will take you on a hot rod joyride deep into the glittering heart of hell. And it is set to shoot later this year.
That's a funny line. Yeah, that writer's interesting. He's pretty hit or miss, but he's got some good stuff. Like The Game. He also did The Game, I think.
Oh, shit, really? I like The Game.
I'm pretty sure he did The Game, which is my favorite David Fincher movie.
I
could be wrong, but I think that's him. So
if only we had a way to find out.
Yeah. We'll just have to wonder forever.
We'll never know.
There's no way to possibly know. Yeah, because I remember really being into Seven at the time, and I was like, I'm gonna follow this writer, but there's probably a couple writers involved in those movies, so I could be wrong. But yeah, did this one really weird Eddie Furlong movie where there was like a monster, kind of like Dead Note, who like came out of his TV or something. It was like his personal monster.
That's cool.
Very Freddy Krueger like. It's super strange. Yeah, it's a weird writer, but I could see it. I could see it definitely being good. Yeah,
that sounds legit. Okay, Hubert, now you go.
Denis Villeneuve is developing Dune 3 officially.
Oh, good.
It's official.
I thought he said he wanted to take a break and do something else in between.
That's what I thought. Well, he's also teaming with Legendary for a nuclear war adaptation. I don't know what the hell that is. Fun. Yeah.
That fits our theme.
Yeah, nuclear war.
Let's start a nuclear war.
Well, that's good, because I was like, when Dune Part 2 ended, I was just like, all right.
Well, and it's funny because Dune Messiah, the book after Dune, is like pretty short, and they could do it in one. And it's basically an epilogue that the writer wrote to be like, no, you missed the point of Dune.
That's
like,
hilarious.
Paul ain't good. Like, yeah. Jodie Comer, Aaron Taylor Johnson, and Rafe Fiennes, are set to star in 28 years later.
Finally.
Yeah.
Been a long time coming.
28 weeks later will come up in this episode.
Cillian Murphy. Get him in there.
Get him in there, dude.
He better be in there. He better be in there. If he's not in there, it's...
He'd be like 80 or 60.
Hell yeah.
I mean, that'd be pretty sick, actually.
Speaking of Alex Garland...
has it been 28 years since... If it's been 25 years since fucking Phantom Menace, how many years has it been since fucking...
Like 2000 something.
Woo! That's nuts. What if it's in real time? Is it in real time? later than that movie came out. Whoa. Anyway, that's like some Twin Peaks shit.
Speaking of Alex Garland, he denies retirement rumors.
Oh,
Everyone was saying he was going to retire. He's done after Civil War. He's just cashing out.
The internet pissed him off, and he's like, "Fuck it."
Yeah, he said, "quote Filmmaking does not only include directing, so he's going to be like writing and doing other shit. Probably a Soderbergh type, like DP,
just squirreling around doing weird whatever." Yeah.
Yeah.
Soderbergh, dude.
Soderbergh.
What are you up to? He's got something coming out, I think, if I recall. Here's a good one. We can unpack this. Fucking Giancarlo Esposito, dude, has joined the MCU, apparently. He had been campaigning to play Professor X. You know how actors will just be like, yeah, sure. And then everyone writes articles about it.
Yeah.
Giancarlo Esposito, who you may know from Breaking Bad or The Boys or The Mandalorian, very talented actor, has joined the MCU, and no one has revealed, no one knows what he's doing yet. My fucking hope is that he replaces Jonathan Majors as Kang. That would be
cool.
Sick. And I truly hope that in Deadpool and Wolverine, there's a scene where Deadpool just literally recasts Kang.
It could happen easily.
Like he's just like swiping like on Tinder through like a bunch of actors, and he's just like, who could we get? Trutel? Esposito, yeah.
I'd forgotten in Deadpool 1 and 2, there's like Hugh Jackman references, so it's like totally just
right.
It's Deadpool and Wolverine.
Yeah, like he can break the fourth wall all the way.
So good.
In the trailer, he says, "I'm Marvel Jesus."
Yeah.
That to me indicates that he could recast and fix all their legal and like weird problems. I don't know. I like Giancarlo Esposito a lot.
Same. Speaking of the MCU, Robert Downey Jr. says he'd, quote, happily return to the MCU. Don't do it.
Dude, did you? Well, wait. There's a second part to that. The Russo brothers were like, nah.
Yeah.
You're dead.
Yeah.
Like,
straight up. But they're not even in charge anymore.
No, yeah.
They're gone.
I just thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And they were like, no.
Yeah, please no. Like, has there ever been a more perfect end to a decades-long character? Probably not. So yeah, I hope I would be okay with everything.
Yeah. I would be okay with it if it was like a recording or like an AI of him that he had built or something. But like if he literally comes back, I mean, that's the problem with the fucking multiverse, though. It's just like he's out there, he's kicking. Like the multiverse saps all.
Well, it could be that.
drama.
What do they call it again? Like an event that must happen.
Oh yeah,
one of those.
His
death. Yeah.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
I can't remember if that's a Doctor Who thing or an MCU thing.
It's MCU. I think they say it in Loki or something. Like there's events that are like Doctor Strange, one of those. Yeah.
Well, breaking news update: Andrew Kevin Walker from Seven and the Killer. He did not write the game, unfortunately, but he did write that weird ass Eddie Furlong movie I was talking about with the monster, the Freddy Krueger type monster. It's called Brain Scan. Recommend that if you want just a weird trip.
I'm gonna watch it.
It's like Lawnmower Man type weird. Like people are obsessed with virtual reality.
I was gonna say, is it like a Videodrome thing or like a
kind of Videodrome-ish,
Strange Days,
kind of like Death Note. Yeah, very bizarre. Yeah.
Okay, sick.
Just wanted to correct myself. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
We weren't supposed to know.
Sorry about that.
We can't handle that knowledge.
Being wrong.
The Jon Snow spinoff has been shelved.
Good.
Shelved it.
Good. Put every Game of Thrones thing beyond the wall, dude. Send it off to freeze to death.
Yeah. He said that they couldn't think of like a compelling scenario or some shit.
Just like they couldn't for the last couple seasons.
Yeah, just like they didn't for Game of Thrones. I like Kit Harington, but no, we don't need it. Like, do other stuff. Like, I want him to have a career doing other stuff. He's great on Saturday Night Live. There's a real good sketch called like Burlesque or something he does that Sophie and I really like.
Well, he's gonna be in the MCU, dude. He's in one of those Eternals, right?
What's his name? Black Knight or something like that?
Nope.
Whatever. On a more somber note, Bernard Hill has passed away. Lord of the
That's
Rings,
very recent.
Titanic. He's the captain in yeah, that was like maybe today as we're filming
The
this.
captain in
May 5th.
Titanic?
Yeah, fucking King,
Dude.
fucking Theoden.
Theoden King, dude. They're the same person. Did not know that.
Apparently,
Oh,
also
man.
one of the few people to have been in 11 Oscar award-winning movies.
Wow.
Titanic and Lord of the Rings.
What a legend. What a presence he had. Good
Uh,
grief.
They haven't said, and it's none of our business, cause of death, but 79 years old.
Solid age.
All right, you have any more news, or should we get into the topic?
I have a quickie. I have a couple quickies, real quick.
Okay.
G.I. Joe Transformers crossover finally happening.
Oh,
That'll be big dumb fun. A Star Trek Origin.
There'll be two of those.
What's up?
I said it'll be two of those.
A Star Trek Origin movie is coming in 2025 from Andor and Doctor Who director Toby Haynes.
Oh,
Star
okay.
Trek coming.
That's interesting.
Coming back.
I worked on one of the Transformers movies on the Blu-ray box set with a great team of people. And when it came out, on I think USA Today or something, there was an article where the headline said from Michael Bay, "I thought the Blu-ray box set could have been better." And I was like, "Oh, thanks a lot, Michael Bay." Not like we all worked hard on that or anything.
Wow, dude. Wow.
Anyway,
A friend of mine who was working at I want to say Warner, they were on the lot. They would say that their lunchtime, this is bleak. They would say that their lunchtime activity would be to rent or take the carts that they could drive around the lot and go by the Michael Bay set just to hear him screaming at some intern. And they would do this every day at lunch and never miss.
Oh, I have no comment on any of that because of things I sign when I work, but I can't comment on the publicly available article.
Well, I ain't signed shit.
The last,
yeah, you didn't sign shit. You can say everything.
Said shit.
The last bit of news to me is the biggest news of the month, and that is Quentin Tarantino has canceled his film, The Film Critic.
That one sounded weird. To tell you the truth, that was going to be his last movie. That one.
I think the premise
weird.
could have been cool because I feel like it would have been a great way to talk about movies in his movie.
Yeah,
I think it could have been a nice celebration of film and the industry, which is what he's all about. And I think
that's a good point. But he's
if
got a
it had
podcast
gone,
too for that.
Yeah, if it had gone that route, I think it would have been good. The thing that we were worried about was that it would be aging man doesn't like the system and thinks critics are useless.
Well, the premise,
and I'm we don't need that.
Well, that's
the premise
what Once
was
Upon
that
a Time in Hollywood was for.
Kind of.
The premise was based on a semi-true story. Tarantino growing up would get these little dime store porno mags in the corner store, but in the porno mag there would be film reviews, actual film reviews. So he was obsessed with that critic writing these fucking 10 out of 10 movie reviews on this seedy, shitty porno rag in the corner store. So
that's so funny. Yeah. I have a question. This is completely unrelated to anything, but it was from something that they were talking about, I think on Red Letter Media, where they all had a shared phenomenon of that I also have. And I don't know if it's just a Wisconsin thing because I grew up in rural Wisconsin like they did. Woods porn.
Yep. In Connecticut.
Find a porno magazine in the woods. And all the kids in town know where it is.
In Connecticut. It by the tree out there.
Yeah. So you had that too, Matt?
Yeah, Jessica had never heard of it before, and I was like, it was the thing. Trust me, it's the thing. In the woods, yep.
When they said that, because I thought that was just a thing that had happened to me and my friends where we found this porno mag.
It's funny. You think it's localized, and then
I
you
thought
start
it
to
was
hear
just
everybody
us.
does it. Well, where else are you going to put it where the parents can't find it, right? Out in the woods. Yeah, you got a spot?
Funny,
yeah.
dude. Oh my
it was
God.
always some older kids who would be like, look, this is where it is.
It's a legend. Yeah, you got to leave it there, dude. Yeah.
It was for me. It wasn't a whole magazine. It was like a page. There was an older kid who's like, "Check out these pages, dude. We got some sick pages."
I remember like, because we had found it, and we took it with us, right? Like we took it. My friends and I took it.
That's the beginning of a horror movie, Isla.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then my girlfriend at the time,
good idea.
You know, didn't love that I had that. And so
she didn't. She's not impressed.
Not impressed. And so like part of me just intrinsically understood I had to return it from whence it came. So I went back to the exact spot in the woods and put it back where I found it.
Hilarious.
Instead of
This
just
is
throwing it away.
Movie. Yeah, this is a very horror movie.
We need to write this movie, Matthew.
Okay. Yeah. Quentin Tarantino is leaving it on the table.
Woods porn.
Woods porn. Yeah.
It's just what it's called. The porno in the woods is probably
people everywhere will know what that means.
Yeah.
Everywhere will, because it's a shared experience.
And like you do like an 80s, it's like a coming of age movie, and you do like an 80s
coming of age. Yeah.
Oh my God, stop! And you do like that. I can see the poster now where it's like the magazine is in the foreground, and it's like
there's like a kid,
four
like
little kids
over,
like leaning over it, and they're all like, oh, you know.
Yeah.
We should write a coming of age movie called The Porno in the Woods.
I love it.
We wouldn't be too gross of it, but the tagline is like everyone comes of age once or something like that.
Oh my God, no!
You could get better, but like, yeah.
I mean, I'm thinking of it like being like a surprisingly touching like coming of age movie, you know?
Oh, I'm still thinking horror. Yeah.
Oh no, but yeah, you know, like Stand By Me, but like
the horror version.
Yeah.
Let's stop giving this away for free.
Yeah.
Hubert, you, me, and Isla will all convene privately.
Just give me a story credit.
Make some money.
Hubert gets a story credit. Well, we'll have to give Red Letter Media a story credit too. But no, it was our own shared experience too. Fuck.
No, everybody had this happen.
I'm shocked. I love that this is actually a phenomenon. Hubert grew up too much in the big city.
Yeah, city life.
City kids don't get
Orange
the woods
County,
porno.
LA and San Francisco my whole life. That's it.
Yeah. You don't get the porno in the woods.
No.
I'm sure you had all kinds of fun
I mean, you get Neighbor
experiences.
Kids Playboy magazine. That's about it.
Yeah. Anyways, let's get back on topic. Enough about sex. Let's talk about death. Our theme this month is apocalypses in TV and film. And
Apocalypse Now does not count.
You know the rule here at Reaction Shots.
Everything counts.
Everything counts.
Wait till you hear my list. It's very, very encompassing.
Everything counts. So I asked about what the patrons at patreon.com/reactionshot get in there for $3. You can be a part of the conversation. There it is. And join the Discord. It's a really fun group of people. I asked them what their favorite apocalypse was, what they think the most likely apocalypse is, and what they would do to survive. And then I said, anything else you want to talk about? We got a few of those too at the end. So favorite apocalypses in film or TV. We'll start off with our stalwart Wojnar brothers, dude. Jason Wojnar comes in. The 2019 Ukrainian film Atlantis. Also, Hubie and I will try to keep in mind to formulate a top 10 list like Matt has that we can say at the end of this. Spoiler alert, it's Fury Road.
Yeah, good one.
The 2019 Ukrainian film Atlantis is a unique take on post-apocalyptic cinema. It is set after a war with Russia, made much of the area between the two countries uninhabitable, and follows a veteran of that war dealing with PTSD and the deteriorating environment and industry around him. Its cast is made up mostly of veterans and volunteers who had been fighting in Ukraine since 2014. The style consists of minimal dialogue and long shots. There's maybe about 30 or so shots in total. It's not the most accessible movie, admittedly, but it's a powerful and impressive how it creates its atmosphere, mostly through cinematography and great locations. Most of the movie was also filmed in and around Mariupol, and considering it came out in 2019, is tragically prophetic, though don't forget there has been war in Ukraine since 2014. H.G. Wells' Things to Come from 1936 is also just one of the best movies of all time.
Oh, that one's cool. Have you seen this
I
one?
haven't.
So it goes through stages. Like this movie, like you think it's kind of one thing, and then it shifts into like a different part of the future, and then it shifts into a different part of the future, and it keeps going. You're like, wow, civilization just keeps turning into these different versions of itself. This is an awesome one. Yeah,
yeah.
this
It's
is a good
fictional
recommendation.
World War II brings humanity to the brink of extinction. The movie goes through the steps of civilization rebuilding itself into a utopia. Cool.
It's fun.
Apparently,
yeah.
also the movie was a major part of the PS2 first-person shooter Cold Winter. Wild.
Yeah.
And finally, one I've actually seen. A shout out to A Boy and His Dog. Have to bring this one up because it stars a very young Don Johnson, and I don't think Zach Wojnar is subscribed to Reaction Shots yet, so I have to mention it in his honor.
Hell yeah.
I've always wanted to see this. Is this one good? It's been on my list since forever. Is it cool?
Admittedly, I watched it back in film school, and I don't really remember it too well. I remember. I wonder if one of the people in my school like worked on it because he had like a bunch of copies of it. No, he must not have because it's 1975. Harlan Ellison, based on.
It just because I'm always trying to watch more science fiction that features
Holy
black
shit.
people in it. Yeah,
It
and
takes
that
place in
tells black stories,
2024.
right? Yeah,
It takes place in 2024. Sorry to talk over you. Yeah, I barely remember it. I saw it in college, but I remember liking it. The main character is white, so I'm not sure. Maybe you're thinking of a different movie.
oh, maybe I am.
This is just a guy and a dog. A young man and his telepathic dog wander a post-apocalyptic wasteland.
I wonder what movie I'm thinking of then. I thought there was one like that then. I watched one called A Born in Flames recently, which has like a radio DJ, and she's part of a revolution against this, and it's like sort of like a dystopian society where kind of Bernie bros have taken over the country. They overthrew the democracy. And then white women are like, we're not getting a fair shake in the Bernie Bro Society. So their militia overthrows the Bernie Bro Society. But then there are a bunch of black women who are like, we don't like how white women are running things. We need to have a revolution against them. And it's great. And then
all of this tracks.
Yeah. So I watched that one, and then like also on my list I thought was A Boy and His Dog, because like I've been trying to watch like science fiction that featured more black characters and black stories. But I guess Boy and His Dog isn't the right one. But
I mean, again,
on that
my
subject,
memory
if you know of more, let me know, because usually like science fiction, like even though it's like very like inclusive of genders and races, a lot of times it's from the perspective of like, it's a white captain on a spaceship, but he's racially cool. He he likes everybody.
Right.
But I'm trying to find ones where like the protagonist isn't white, so.
Yeah. If I think of any, I'll let you know. Also, I have no clue what movie you're thinking of because kind of funny to follow up that because Jason Wojnar ended with, I don't think Zach Wojnar is subscribed. We have a comment from Zach Wojnar, who apparently is subscribed.
There it is.
I echo Jason the Wojnar's choices. I love calling him the Woj when you both have the same last name. And also, they add Doomsday, a sweet Mad Max ripoff starring Rona Mitra.
I fucking love Doomsday. It was The Descent. After The Descent, he made Doomsday.
Oh.
Fucking love that. Dude, one of Bob Hoskins' last movies ever.
I love Bob Hoskins.
Movie's sick.
Jericho, a short-lived TV show about a small American town reacting to nuclear war that hasn't quite reached the little town just yet. I remember when this was on, I caught a couple of moments of it, I think. Twisted Metal, which plays its post-apocalyptic setting and wacky characters for comedy, mostly. Reign of Fire, which is like Mad Max with dragons and deserves so much love. Yeah, dude, shout out to Reign of Fire. I mean, I haven't rewatched it since I first saw it in theaters, but like, I remember thinking that movie was pretty lit.
Yeah.
No pun intended. And you know what? Shout out to Terminator Salvation, which is set entirely in the post-apocalypse and has the pitch-perfect casting of Anton Yelchin as young Kyle Reese. In hindsight,
trust your
major
lights.
respect to Salvation for acknowledging the events of T3 and not trying to reboot or retcon what came before. Just roll with the punches, baby. I like Anton Yelchin, man. Rip.
Same.
It's a bummer. I'm still bummed about that.
Mm-hmm.
Next up, Haley Nicole Miller. My favorite apocalypse is definitely zombies. I don't have a reason, but I've always loved them. We're now entering the zombie section of the program. Super Sushi says, my favorite type of apocalypse is definitely zombies.
Oh, yeah.
You can't reason with zombies. There is only one sure way to kill them, usually, and every encounter with them has the potential to just increase their numbers if your comrades fall. Its depiction in movies and TV are also very varied, from super serious stuff like The Night Eats the World, The Night Eats the World, or Cargo, to comedies like Shaun of the Dead and Warm Bodies. Anything that strikes your fancy can be found. Station 11, shifting gears, Station 11 had me terrified when I watched it 2 years ago, showing us how little of a chance we might have had if COVID was just a little more deadly. Shout out also to The Road. I don't think it's ever explicitly mentioned what ended the world, but its depiction of bleakness and the struggle living in a world that has gone to shit seems very reasonable and horrible. I think in the book it's never expressly said, but it's kind of implied that it was nukes. And in the movie, if I recall, I think they say it, they show it.
The book's so good. That last paragraph, such a killer last paragraph.
I
would give anything to write
offhand,
like that. Yeah.
I mean, Blood Meridian is one of my favorite books ever. Like, Cormac was just such a fucking good writer.
He knew what he was doing. Yeah.
I had The Road. I don't know where it is. The Road, yeah, dude. That's quite a movie.
Good one.
I remember liking it when I saw it because I had recently read the book before it came out, and I just finished the book when they announced the movie, and I was like, oh, cool. And I remember thinking it was a pretty good adaptation. I don't really remember it specifically. And also, Shaun of the Dead is just so good.
Classic.
Station 11 I didn't watch because it seemed depressing as shit.
I started it, and I was
so
like,
over...
I'm not in the mood for this.
Yeah, I'm like, I've been quarantining for 2 years. I don't want to watch this.
Terrible.
Like,
why am I watching that right now?
I've heard it's very good, but...
The book is great of Station 11. I read it before the pandemic, so that was the great time to read it because I could enjoy it before everything went down. Yeah. It was a great book. Really good book.
I didn't know it was based on a book. That's cool.
Yeah.
Katie Garza says, the gold standard, in my opinion, is 28 Days Later. I think the film is such a great apocalypse film with some of the most realism in terms of human interactions and day-to-day decision-making in a world where all structure, quote unquote, has fallen to pieces. The scene where they raid the grocery store is one of my favorite scenes in the film. I look forward to it every time I watch this movie. It does such a good job of expressing the joy of the moment and bringing the audience into that joy in an otherwise pretty bleak film. On the other hand, the entire section with the military, including the conclusion to that section where the quote-unquote true intentions are revealed, still stays with me to this day. Yeah, it's so fucked up. At the time the film came out, I didn't really recall apocalyptic films going for realism, and certainly not making commentary on how the patriarchy, misogyny, and sexual violence would occur during an apocalypse from those who give the pretense of being the good guys. Nowadays, I feel like this is commented on in film and television more and more, but in the time it felt so shocking and important, if that makes sense. I'd also be interested to hear if you saw the alternate ending and what your thoughts are on both versions of the films.
I have seen the alternate ending.
I just rewatched it again before we shot this, actually.
Yeah, I like the original.
Yeah, the video I saw, I guess, is from like a bonus features or something of the DVD where it's, I assume, Danny Boyle and Alex Garland talking about the other ending. What the other ending basically boils down to is... What is the other ending? Yeah, I'll summarize it. So it doesn't do they don't find the military guys at all. They follow the broadcast, get to the encampment, and nobody's there except for one guy. And it said, like, the answer to the, contagion is here. And this guy, blah, 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 tells them, and they have the little girl's dad, instead of killing him, they just tie him up in a tarp and leave him alive because Jim is like, Cillian Murphy's character is like, yo, they said there's an answer, like maybe that's a cure, and the woman wants to kill him, but he's like, well, maybe if there's a cure, we have to, and so the guy tells him, like, there's a cure, but there's a catch. Since the disease lives in the blood, you have to do a total body blood transfusion. And like in the bonus features commentary, they pause. They're talking about this over storyboards, and they pause it, and they're like, "Here's where this falls apart, because we've already established in this movie that a single drop of blood is enough to change you." And they're like, so they say, "What are you gonna do? Bleach the veins before you put the new blood in?" Like it just doesn't make any sense, So they abandoned it. But Jim in that version matches. It's a blood match for her dad, so he sacrifices himself and transfers all his blood into him. And so then Frank lives, the girl's dad. And there's also a slightly different alternate ending where Jim doesn't survive his wounds from the military, and the two girls get seen by the military jet instead of all three of them, or whatever. But that's only slightly different.
Some of those things where you're like, the official movie one was good. Like, have you watched the like Alien like extra cuts, like Alien and Aliens, where like they extend them?
All
and
of
like, I like the cut down one that was in theaters. That's fine. They did a good job.
It's funny because with Aliens, I mean, Huber and I've talked about this till we're blue in the face, but like the Aliens one is funny because I would make another version of the cut where it's like you can lose all the turrets and all that shit, but you need the scene where Burke tells her daughter died. Like you need that
essential scene.
And like that not being in the theatrical is so weird. But we've talked about that. See you when I get any more on 28 Days Later. 28 Weeks Later is also sick.
Fucking love Robert Carlyle in that.
He's so good in that.
That's one of the best intros to anything.
Such
fucking
a good
Jeremy
intro.
Renner, young ass Jeremy Renner, Doyle, so sick.
A tolerable Jeremy Renner. Shout out to Jeremy Renner. I'm glad he's feeling better. I'm glad
awesome.
I'm glad he's okay. Out there making music again. The way that movie ends, I think is so. It's fucking metal. It's horrifying, and I think very realistic in a terrifying way. Pretty wild stuff. Any other thoughts on that before I move on to the next one? Because we're going into anime, baby.
Ooh, here we go. Almost all of them are apocalyptic near the end.
Yeah.
They really are. They could
really
be
are.
like
Even,
a normal thing, like
even Cowboy
My
Bebop
Neighbor
is,
Totoro, and all of a sudden it's apocalyptic.
I mean,
not really,
sort of.
but they just have these dreams, and then
yeah, Cowboy Bebop is like the Earth is fucked.
It's true.
See you when I get there just says berserk, 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 and then a broken heart emoji.
Yeah, that Blu-ray
like
box set
medieval,
that just got dropped in the chat and the Discord.
Yeah, except for that's the TV show,
one, right? What's that?
That's for the TV show, right? Not the Golden Age arc movies.
But yeah, it's the 1997 anime, which
I never saw.
It's pretty close to the original manga, which I'm pretty excited about. Yeah, because I watched the first couple episodes of that. I've never seen the whole thing, but I was like, oh shit, this feels exactly like the opening of the manga. So I think I'm gonna try and get that. Yeah.
I mean, I've maybe said this before, but my first experience with Berserk was the Golden Age arc, the trilogy of movies, and I didn't know what I was getting into. And so, like, yeah, the whole third one, I was just like, oh my God, this is like one of the most fucked up things I've ever seen.
Really
it's great. I tried reading the manga. Too rapey. I couldn't do it. But as like to Katie's comment, like
fair complaint.
In a society or in a situation like this, like that, may or may not happen a lot. Like.
Doesn't mean we all want to see it.
Doesn't mean I want to read about it,
yeah.
yeah. Anyway. Berserk, dude. Tyler Travis says, yes, my favorite genre, meaning apocalypses. My top 20 of all time, to be read in Huber's hype. Oh, my top 20 of all time, dude.
Of all time, dude.
That's how you do it, yeah. Contains Children of Men, Stalker, Fury Road, Wall-E, and of course Apocalypse Now, which counts. Don't let Huber scream at you. Stalker, dude, that's like one of my that's like top of my need to watch list like forever. I've just never seen it.
I found it incomprehensible, and I'm okay admitting
Same,
that
and
because
Solaris, the old
it's
Solaris too, same thing.
it's my type. Those are my type of movies. I like incomprehensible art movies, and so I
Same.
get to admit one that is incomprehensible to me. But I'm
Yeah.
so glad that other people enjoy it, and I'm so glad that there's one above my head. Someone can explain it to me one day. I
Yeah.
believe that it means something. I just could not crack it.
Now I'm
But
very curious
I
to
love
watch
that
it
it
and see what I
exists.
think of it.
I love that there's something out there beyond the reach of my understanding.
Very few things are.
Always
Yeah.
learning.
Oh, that's sweet. A lot of things are.
um, they said so many more teeter on the cusp with dystopian, but we'll save that for another time. Yeah, it's interesting how some of these movies, like the 28 weeks and days later movies, get into this a little bit, where it's like that's something I really love about um localized apocalypses, where it's like the characters don't know if this is global or local, and they have no way of finding out,
Like
you
10
know.
Cloverfield Lane or something.
Exactly, yeah, like where you're just like, we don't know, like everyone could be dead, like we don't know. And like that is really scary to me. There's a movie that I saw with the sound off while I was in a restaurant, and like I noticed like two other tables were like watching it. I want to get the name of the movie right, but it's Belafonte. Oh my god, it's called like The Devil, the Flesh, and the like something. And it's just like Harry Belafonte and like this lady and another guy are like The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. 1959 movie during the like nuclear fear, you know. From what I gathered, there was a nuclear attack, and it's just like he's alone in New York for like the first bunch of this movie. And it, you know, he's like setting up a little house in a department
Sounds like a
store. And
Twilight
shit. It
Zone
looks,
episode.
yeah, it looked like a Twilight Zone. I thought at first I was like, was Harry Belafonte on fucking Twilight Zone? And then I was like, oh no, this is a movie. It looks sick as shit.
Nice.
And I really wanted to see. Well, speaking of black led apocalypse movies, there you go. There's one. Yeah, he was. Here's the log line. A miner trapped in a cave-in resurfaces, and upon discovering mankind has been wiped out in a nuclear holocaust, sets out to find other survivors.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
Sick.
And based on the character portraits, it seems like maybe the other guy is maybe a little racist. And so they're maybe dealing with that, but I mean that's just reading into it from the images I'm looking at right now. But yeah, I don't know. Looks cool. The World, the Flesh, and the Devil. I want to check that out.
That was always such an interesting component of at least the early Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead movies, that they had to factor that into their survival, and really excruciatingly grim. But of course, why wouldn't that be part of the apocalypse? It was heartbreaking, but like I thought handled really well, at least in those first two movies, The Night of the Living Dead and Dawn of the Dead, the racial component. So
Night of the Living Dead is like god tier commentary on that. Like, holy shit. Yeah, I spent a lot of time thinking about that. Like, I was thinking about, this is bleak as shit, but I was thinking about because of Under the Bridge, or no, something we had watched. And, you know, I'm always terrified of like being kidnapped or whatever. And like, I was thinking through like a scene where like, if someone had kidnapped a few women and if one of them was trans, like what would be going through my head would be like, well, he's just going to kill me because like, I don't have what he's after. And like, it was like the most bleak fucking thing I've like ever thought. I was just like, Jesus fucking Christ. But it's like movies that deal with that kind of stuff, like the reality of stuff.
Sorry, Walking Dead is the fucking goat.
I really appreciate it.
Nope. Walking Dead deals with that shit all the time. Everyone thinks it's just like, oh, ha, 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 Walking Dead. fun little zombie show. It's like, no. Shit is so hardcore. Deals
Yeah.
with
from the jump,
so
from the
much
first
jump,
shit.
season, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
It
it's
got
like
into
28.
it.
It's like 28 Days Later, where it's like the best. What makes that movie legendary? You know, besides, I mean, there's a lot of great stuff in that movie, but like the part with the soldiers to me is what makes that.
Mhm.
Like that's an example of an Alex Garland third act that I think hits because like it does zig when you think it's gonna zag, but it really, really does it to make a point. And like
Yeah.
Mhm.
the point, you know, and it's like, you know, it's common now, but and even from the beginning, like Night of the Living Dead is a great example of that, where it's like, who is the biggest threat here? Like, is it them or is
Humans
it us?
every time. Humans
Yeah.
every time. 100%
And-
humans.
Yeah. It's just different how life experiences changes your perspectives on stuff, you know? Like that's why exposure to different types of people and learning about other people is very important.
So
You
important.
know? Get a little perspective.
Seriously.
Um,
Watch some movies, everybody. Live those experiences vicariously through film.
Yeah. Fede Krauch says, I am going for two you may not know about, as I imagine other people talk about Terminator, The Last of Us, Fallout, etc. You're the first to mention those last two. In Supernatural, the apocalypse that happens is the literal apocalypse, as in the biblical apocalypse, from where the name comes from. And it was a real fun experience watching how the writers interpreted biblical passages and translated them to a CW show. The other is from the 100. After more than a 100 years being
This
unattended,
is one of my
nuclear
favorite shows
power
of all
plants
time.
start going into meltdown, making it a race against time to find and or build a shelter strong enough to survive the
Wait.
incoming radiation wave.
Wait, what are
Whoa.
you talking about? The 100 what?
The 100?
The
Yeah.
show is a movie?
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, the show was great.
The show is
so
sick as
good.
fuck.
Because that doesn't seem to be what
Because the show is post-apocalyptic.
the show is about, though.
You know.
Yeah, the show was so good. Yeah, the show was fun.
movie.
And
Is there
who
a
did it
movie
have
called
from
The
Lost?
100?
It had like that one dude from Lost.
Desmond. It had Desmond,
right?
Yo, I love Desmond.
Yeah. Yeah, the 100 had a couple really great seasons in it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It starts. Yeah, the first couple are incredible.
Yeah.
I don't see any of the 100 movie. I'm
Maybe that
confused.
happens in the show and you forgot.
I don't know.
It's been a
I
while.
don't know.
I've seen every
Um,
season.
Speaking of nuclear stuff, I sing its praises all the goddamn time, but fail safe, dude. That movie rules. Came out like a year away from Doctor Strangelove, and they're like the same thing, but one's serious and one's a joke. And I love them both, and they're both excellent. Anyway,
I don't know Failsafe.
Failsafe is
Dr.
good, dude.
Strangelove, but I don't know Failsafe.
Failsafe, I think it was, I don't know if it was like a made for TV thing, like Marty or whatever, but yeah, it's set largely in like an underground bunker, and the president of the United States is dealing with an accidental nuclear launch.
Whoa.
And like what happens in that is nuts.
Is it black and white?
Yeah.
And it's just him from his perspective. I mean, just from his point of view, I guess at least.
I saw this back in film school also, but like I don't recall it ever leaving the bunker, but I don't know.
That's
It's
cool.
good.
I definitely want to see it.
Colin Luton says the recent discussion of childhood fandoms on the Easy Ace podcast sparked this memory in me that just happens to relate to this prompt. Did you know that there was a season of Power Rangers set in the post-apocalypse? It's called Power Rangers RPM from
Whoa.
2009. If you're unfamiliar, they go into it. I was a big
Is
time Power
RPM
Rangers
like rads per minute or
minute?
whatever?
I don't know. Yeah.
Like the radiation rating.
Yeah, we'll see. I was a big time Power Rangers kid, but I eventually fell off like all kids do. However, the fan in me never fully grew out of it, I guess. So when I learned about this season in college, I watched the whole thing. It's actually kind of intense. The bad guys are essentially just Skynet, here called Venjix, Venjix, with every episode's monster being a new model of Terminator. The main city of the season, Corinth, is inside an enormous dome. It's the very last human civilization on Earth, and the Power Rangers have to defend it from robot invasions. Sick. The series' main POV character is Dylan, the Black Ranger, who is a copy-paste Mad Max with the car and leather jacket and everything. Holy shit. He's a wasteland wanderer on a mission to rescue his sister, who was kidnapped by the machines and experimented on. For a show that is still very much for little kids, it's still goofy and cheesy most of the time. I'm surprised by how hard it goes. Apparently, the franchise was owned by Disney at the time, and they were looking to sell or cancel the series. The creators, thinking the series was as good as dead, gave this pitch for RPM that they never thought would get greenlit, but lo and behold, everyone's attitude seemed to be, fuck it, what are they going to do, cancel us? And went ahead with it. Blowing out the budget on every episode. I'm not saying it's a must watch by any stretch, but if you're a weird adult like me who suddenly has the urge to watch Power Rangers for some reason, it's a pretty entertaining season. Dang, that's nuts. That reminds me of, I like it when shows take big swings like that. It doesn't always pay off, but like Fringe has a post-apocalypse season kind of that didn't really hit, but whatever.
Yeah.
All right. Now we're getting into the Mad Max of it all. Are you ready? Mad Max.
Hope it's good.
Oh God, I hope it's good. JG says
JG Wentworth
877 cat. No! I just hold for commercial jingle. Mad Max, especially the Road Warrior, but I do love all of them. I also want to shout out Fist of the North Star for being super influential for so many films and anime. I'll just read these several Mad Max ones, and then we can talk about Mad Max. Colt Smith says, all right, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. I'd say my favorite post-apocalyptic anything ever is Mad Max. Like, what a kick-ass movie. The Road Warrior is great and all, but Mad Max turned it up to 11, and then just hauled ass from there. Are you talking about Fury Road or original Mad Max? This is not exactly how I describe original Mad Max. He goes on vacation for like 2 months in the middle of the fucking movie. My second favorite would be Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. Fuck yeah, dude. I need to rewatch those.
Oh yeah. I like this. I like the second one.
I fucking love Vampire Hunter.
They're both good. They're both good, but like I know people don't like the first one that much, but I like both of them. But the second one's great.
My friends Kit and Tom and I have been talking about rewatching those lately. I have them on DVD. This is a film and a series that really gets what is cool and fun about all its parts. I'm also partial to Snowpiercer and its anime cousin Kabaneri of the Iron Fortress, which covers the same ground but goes a lot harder. There are so many we could mention here, from the popular and to the totally obscure, but to save time, let's just go with those. And then Garrett Hullfish, that slightly changes. So let's talk about Mad Max for a minute. Yeah, I fucking love Mad Max. I love all of them, but obviously I like Road Warrior and Fury Road the best because they are the best. Mad Max 1 is so funny because it's like knowing the background of that and like how just scrappy and like Mr. Sunday Movies just did a great series on Road Warrior and Thunderdome, so I recommend those. But my God, like it's kind of shocking that people didn't get more hurt than they did. Like they were just like doing shit. Like none of it was legal. Like it was just like insane. Like yeah, Mad Max. What a weird movie. And like it almost feels like the apocalypse idea was kind of tagged on later just to make it have more stakes. Cause like it is kind of just like slightly weird rural areas, but like,
some, X-Men style continuity errors in there. Like,
and like things feel generally fine. Like he literally goes on vacation for like a weird middle section of this movie.
Yeah.
And you're like, cool, I guess, like family, you know, setting up the stakes for what happens. But yeah, like the ending is great of Mad Max though. Like, whoo-wee. And then Road Warrior is where it hits the actual like Mad Max shit.
Classic.
And yeah, I mean, Road Warrior is incredible. And like, it's so clear that Fury Road is kind of just like cashing the check that Road Warrior wanted to cash. But I think they're both successful in different ways. But like, yeah, making a movie that's one big fucking chase, like, hell yeah. And I do really love that Mad Max isn't let in on the plan in Road Warrior. If you remember that. Spoilers for Road Warrior from 50 years ago, but
well, he's always the supporting character. It's the best.
That's what like, and Mr. Sunday Movies talks about this too, but like these are campfire stories. Like he's the vehicle, haha, for these legends. Like none of them have continuity, and they don't need to, and they're not supposed to. Like these are literally like legends.
Yeah, that's a fun way to approach it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, even stuff that tie them together, like the pilot, and like there's a skull of the pilot in Road Warrior or Fury Road, but it's just like, yeah, I mean, whatever.
That's kind of why part 1 and part 2 feel so similar if you think of it that way. Yeah.
Oh man, Mad Max, dude. I hope Furiosa is so good.
10 out of 10. Why am I so fucking nervous?
I'm so nervous. I
the new trailer
like
looks so much better. I was like, I can get down with this. Now I feel okay. Yeah.
Okay. IMAX.
This is IMAX, Jonathan.
The real deal.
IMAX, Huber. It's the real deal.
It's the real deal. It's the real deal.
So sick.
That is like God tier thing to say to your son at the IMAX.
That is the
theater.
Best.
It's the real deal.
Fuck.
Dude,
Absolute
shout out to
dream.
Jonathan and his dad, dude.
Yeah.
Fucking A. Like, we probably won't agree on much, but we agree on that.
Yeah.
This is the real deal.
I don't know what side of the Civil War he was on.
I was gonna say, like, you might throw me in the back of your pickup like Cord would, but on the IMAX, we can agree.
Jesse Plemons was the main character for him.
Yeah, the hero.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Anyway, I feel like we've been tiptoeing around some dangerous territory in this episode. Fuck it. Garrett Hallfish, the obvious choice for best movie is Turbo Kid. Mad Max, but with teens on bicycles? Sign me up. It uses 80s nostalgia, but creates something unique that stands on its own. Honestly, I should probably rewatch it before I play the video game sequel. I didn't realize they were making a video. Oh, no, wait. I think we did recently realize that. This goes back to what I was talking about isolated apocalypses, which is such a fun concept to me. Duff, I think my favorite apocalypse film is John Carpenter's The Thing. Because it's an awesome movie with a self-contained doomsday scenario that still engrosses me whenever I see it. That's totally like, like the thing's getting out.
It's
and
getting
like
out.
The whole planet is fucked within like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like that thing is
100%.
getting out.
Yeah.
Duff continues, I keep thinking about The Day After Tomorrow a lot too, mostly because it shows such a grim, plausible apocalypse. I think it played to Emmerich's strengths of broad characters in broader situations. That's a way to frame it. It's the goofy version of it, but climate change terrifies the hell out of me. Yeah. Shout out to Fallout for being a fun and engaging show. I feel the games have drifted away from RPG and more towards survival sandbox as of late, and it was nice to see just a bunch of ill-informed jerks try their best in a world where everything failed. I want to say shout out. I don't know if you guys watched it, but shout out to the Fallout series, because like I'm a huge fan of the games. You did watch it? Yeah,
I watched the first episode. It's got a good sense of humor. It's funny, which it needed to be, I think.
Absolutely.
Silo didn't have enough jokes for me.
I fucking love Silo. You're crazy.
I think everything
Rebecca
needs
Ferguson
jokes.
is God.
Crazy.
You say everything needs jokes?
Everything needs jokes.
What the fuck, dude?
Everything needs jokes.
What the fuck?
Give me any movie and I will tell you it needs jokes. Go on, give me a movie.
Kids.
Kids needs jokes. That's
Apocalypse Now. Schindler's
that's
List.
That's
Does Schindler's
Schindler's
List
List
have
has jokes. Schindler's List
They do
has
have
jokes. Do you know he's like, I pardon you. I pardon you. That's a joke scene.
I mean,
that's a joke. You didn't laugh the first time you saw that?
It's like darkly
Yeah, it's darkly
humorous,
comic.
I suppose.
You need it for
Sure.
pacing. Yeah, everything needs jokes. I'm telling you.
Well,
Because
Fallout-
otherwise,
The
range
one
of
has no jokes.
emotions makes the serious moments land more because you have something for contrast.
I don't disagree, but like maybe I would say
not
moments of levity
wallpapered with
instead of
jokes,
jokes.
but just like just one moment of jokes, one or
Okay.
two moments of
Okay.
jokes.
Not
Not
all
all.
that.
I'll go with that.
let
One or
the
two jokes.
humanity shine through.
Okay.
Anyway,
people
I'm
say
glad
jokes
Fallout
now.
has jokes.
People say jokes now. My mind just goes to MCU. Haha, bullshit.
No,
Like
that's
yeah,
quips.
Yeah.
No
Yeah,
movie needs
no,
quips.
not quips.
Okay.
We don't
Uh,
need Joss Whedon quips all the time. You just one or two jokes, and then it humanizes everything a little bit. But I'm saying Fallout does a good job of having jokes in there. Because that's
even
kind of
Heat
the spirit of the
has some
games.
jokes.
The early games.
Heat's
Yeah.
hilarious. Fallout, yeah, because Fallout they're funny games. Like they've always been funny games. What really impresses me about Fallout is just how fucking like accurate it is. Like they go hard trying to make this thing accurate. And like my only criticism with the show is that I think it has some pacing problems where like characters do stuff just because the show needs more episodes, like that kind of stuff. But otherwise, I really enjoyed it. I don't know. It's cute. Zorgla, the cataclysmic waves in deep impact TM, cataclysmic waves TM in deep impact and massive storms in the day after tomorrow are my favorite apocalyptic disasters. Most of humanity actually survives those. So 2012 gets the nod for favorite full-on apocalypse, especially the bonkers LA quake and Yellowstone eruption. Plus it ends with the entire world flooding, which reminds me to mention Waterworld.
Dude,
I need to rewatch Waterworld.
Same. Is there an extended cut or some shit? I need to track it down.
So it's funny because you may or may not only have seen the like quote unquote director's cut or home video cut. Because if I understand correctly, like there was the theatrical cut, and I think I might be wrong on this, but I think like the home release was a changed cut, but they might have changed it later. That period of movies was really interesting for stuff like this, where it's just like they would just take scenes out for the home release or add scenes in. Yeah. Nice. I was under the impression that I had only seen the quote unquote better version of Waterworld in my lifetime.
15 minutes.
Because I never saw it in theaters. But
Waterworld should be 3.5 hours.
Needs padding.
It feels like 3.5.
But it should feel like
twice.
6.
Feels like it. So brutal.
Oh, the smokers, dude. Love it.
What about the Postman, dude?
Never saw it.
Postman extended cut, dude. It's like super fucking long.
I've been talking to like Elise and a few other friends to be like, I want to have like a Costner day where we watch Waterworld and Robin Hood Prince of Thieves.
The Postman, dude. 3 hours.
Jesus Christ. Feels like 9.
Hell yeah.
That's an apocalypse movie, isn't it? Postman?
Yeah.
Shout out to speaking of this kind of stuff, Knowing Nicolas Cage, dude. What a ridiculous
we have
movie.
to get the
Alex
quote.
Proyas.
We have to get the quote every time.
The shot of him looking down and the like angel thing is standing in the yard is pretty fucking terrifying.
Here's the bet. I have to every time we have to say it. Rest in peace, Roger Ebert. The beginning of his 4-star Knowing review. Knowing is among the best science fiction films I've seen.
Period?
He hyphenated dashes. He does the dashes.
M-dash. Okay.
Frightening, suspenseful, intelligent, and when it needs to be, rather awesome.
Just when it needs to be.
Yeah.
That's where modern
It's
filmmaking
sick.
gets it wrong, is that they don't appreciate that films don't need to be rather awesome all the time.
I love it.
God. I didn't hate that. And I liked Alex Proyas, I was a big Dark City fan and The Crow. iRobots, whatever, but Cotalito, my favorite apocalypse movie is George A. Romero's Day of the Dead from 1985. Not only is it the best of the original Dead trilogy, it's the best zombie movie, full stop, IMO. I should have organized this up in the zombie section. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Everything from the iconic intro, sampled by Gorillaz in their debut album, by the way, to the rising tensions among the survivors, to the best ripped apart scene in the biz is perfection. It's a zombie master at his peak. Is this the mall one?
No, the mall one's Dawn of the Dead.
Dawn.
Day of the Dead is like the military one, I'm pretty sure. I think. Yeah.
This one
If
I remember the
correctly.
least.
Dawn is the mall.
Okay. Some honorable mentions: The Road, Mad Max 2, Jericho, Gone Too Soon, Children of Men, A Quiet Place, and Bird Box. I liked the book of Bird Box. I didn't like the movie. I think that you could re-edit the Bird Box movie though to just be chronological, and it would make it way more intense. Like I think it would make it way better because the book can get away with jumping back and forth, but I think the movie it takes all the wind out of its sails. Maybe I'll do that one of these days. Just see what happens.
Love that. I love when you do that.
Yeah, I took out 28 minutes of Valerian, and I could have cut more. I could have fixed what's his name's storyline, the bad guy, a little better. Huh?
That's Alita.
Oh, take Hugo. Yeah, take Hugo out. You got a great movie there. But still, I stand by that, dude. Just cut Hugo out of the movie.
Cut him
out. My favorite apocalypse genre is zombies. The gore and horror is a big part of that, but since the trope is so well established, creators can focus more on human drama and less on exposition. And last of our favorites section here is, of course, patron saint of Reaction Shots. Although now every one of these people is the patron saint of Reaction Shots. Yeah. You can join too by being patreon.com/reaction shots. Chuck us a buck. Tokyo Slim, I'm not really not really a zombies kind of guy, so my favorite post-apocalypses are Children of Men, The Matrix, Blade Runner, Akira, Logan's Run, Phase 4, shit yeah. Hell Comes to Frogtown, 12 Monkeys, shit yeah, 12 Monkeys, Waterworld, Dread, yeah. Rain of Fire, Idiocracy, Pontypool, Pandorum, and recently I liked both A Quiet Place and I guess somewhat controversially, The Creator, which I never saw. I watched a bunch of videos about how they shot it, though.
Looked cool, but bad movie.
The Creator?
Yeah, I did not like it.
Shot it on an FX3, dude.
It was like a 5 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
It was just boring. Just a boring one.
Shout out to 12
likes
Monkeys.
it. Maybe I'll go again.
Yeah, watch it at home, probably.
Yeah.
Shout out to 12 Monkeys. I like the movie, and I actually really love the series.
I forgot they made this series of that.
Pretty good.
I completely forgot about that.
It holds together. Also, speaking of time travel apocalypse movies, Dark, dude. Dark is one of the best TV shows ever made. Dark is fucking good. I mean, I'm not trying to put, I don't want to parasite anything. I'm excited to hear what you think of it, but Dark fucking rips. Also, Phase 4. Hang on, talk for a second. I got a prop to go.
Phase 4.
Okay, what is Dark, Huber? Tell me.
It's like a German and a Norwegian, European sci-fi type thing where there's this cave or this tree they go in and like weird shit happens.
And there's a pornography literature.
There might be a porno mag in the cave.
Yeah, they find a porno mag from every time period in this cave. No, yeah, Dark.
There's some like heavy family drama.
That was a weird but accurate summary of Dark. Dark, yeah, is a time travel sci-fi movie that gets time travel very right. And
show.
It's a show on Netflix. It has, I think, 3 seasons. It sticks the landing. It's very good. The biggest challenge is keeping all these white people apart because everybody fucking looks like everybody, but like they're all like, related and versions of each other and shit. So yeah. Anyway, I have this. Here's Phase 4, baby. The new Vinegar Syndrome release of Blu-ray of Saul Bass's, I think, only directorial effort. Saul Bass famously did the titles for Hitchcock movies.
I like the ants forming the skull.
Yeah. This movie is, I haven't watched it yet because I've been trying to get some friends over to watch it that I think might like it. But it's about big ants that get smart and like shit gets crazy. But the titular Phase 4 wasn't in the original release of the movie. Shit goes crazy, but initially when they put the movie out, it wasn't in there. After Phase 4, man will be no more.
I gotta watch that shit,
dude. I'm sure it sucks, but it's I like it. Saul Bass, dude, visionary genius. They actually used like real ants as puppets and shit, like little dead ants, and they were like puppeting them. Crazy movie. Anyways,
dude, I forgot to mention my favorite fucking movie I watched. I always forget something. Fuck.
What?
Disappear Completely on Netflix.
What's that?
Everyone should watch this horror movie from Mexico. It's fucking sick. It's Nightcrawler, but a horror movie. That's all I'm gonna say. It's on Netflix. Hidden gem from Mexico. disappear completely. Check it out.
Well,
Oh, I
sounds
thought you were
cool.
saying the movie disappeared completely.
No, it's called. Yeah,
it's not
called
available
Disappear.
anymore.
Yeah, no, it's called
You
Disappear
can't
Completely.
see it.
The horror version of Nightcrawler. Check it out. Really good.
Oh, dang. I forgot we were supposed to be trying to come up with a top 10, but yeah, Fury Road, The Road is pretty good. The Thing,
Matrix and Children of
count
Men are
that.
number one.
The Matrix, yeah, Children of Men.
Can't beat them. 20 Days Later, right there.
I like. Speaking of our like localized apocalypse thing, the movie The Mist gets
Mist
into
is
that
there.
sort of territory where it's like he's like, this is it, like everything is fucked, you know, makes a choice. So
Somehow-
bleak.
Somehow Planet of the Apes continues to be the most underrated franchise of all time.
Dude, those three new movies are sick.
They're like the best fucking ever, and no one ever talks about
They're
them.
good, dude.
Ever.
They're quiet juggernauts. I feel like
God.
I mean, obviously they do well enough to keep getting more made, but like I've heard early buzz on this new one is that it's pretty good.
I'm so excited.
Comes out in 5 days.
I'm so excited. Day one. 5 days? No, I thought it was the end of the month.
No, it's May 10th, baby. Furiosa is the end of the month.
What?
Hell yeah.
IMAX,
May,
dude.
dude.
Apes in the IMAX, baby.
May is a good month
Oh.
for apocalypses.
Yo, also Wally.
Dude, Wall-E, shit, yeah. It got mentioned a couple of times, but yeah, Wall-E is a great
Top tier.
post-apocalyptic movie.
Yeah.
My wife Sophia is so cute. Like she loves gorillas and apes, and just like she'll start crying just from the trailers to the apes movies.
Yeah.
Like I love it. I love it.
That's
Bleak
cute.
as fuck.
Yeah, it's so cute.
Talk about no comedy, dude. War for the Planet of the Apes. No comedy, Matt. Thank you.
No, and
I'm
you-
sure there's-
most
that's what's missing.
serious movie
I'm
That's
sure
ever.
there's
that's
moments of
missing.
levity. I'm sure there's moments of levity.
Yo, you know what he
Uh,
said? Interstellar.
Oh,
Oh,
there's
yeah.
a joke in there. There's a joke or two in there.
No, but it is a
Yeah.
post-apocalyptic
Yeah. Yeah.
or a mid-apocalyptic movie.
Oh,
Like how we
yeah,
are right
jokes.
now. We're
Yeah.
we're mid-apocalypse.
Also,
I thought you were just gonna end it there. We're mid.
We're mid. Human society right now, I would classify as mid. Sure.
also
Um,
the last
It
time I
averages
watched
out, comes out in the,
the
wash.
last time I watched Blade Runner, the freaking like state of the world in that movie hit differently. I don't know why.
Yeah,
it just
you.
felt closer, I guess, which is so scary.
Yeah,
Blade Runner felt closer than it has ever felt last time I watched it.
dude. I mean, like with recent events and the world the way it is, and
Yeah.
governments outlawing news outlets and stuff like that. You know, all of this is feeling more and more plausible. Like late stage capitalism, like corporate interests guiding policy more than they has ever before, perhaps. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
We're getting there. We're heading
yeah.
right into the blender, dude. It's pretty
Oh, yeah.
wild. Like just watching humanity like shoot itself in the foot over and over again is pretty incredible. Like, you know, kind of wild.
Need a few of those like flying cars and holograms, and
Everything will be
we'll
fine.
be
Yeah.
there. Yeah,
We need UFOs, man. We need them.
those happened a couple of years ago.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a great
we need
John Oliver
like
about it.
we need like the alien to get off the ship though. Like step off, alien. Reveal
I do-
yourself.
I do wonder what would happen. Like, you know, as a kid, I always thought, yeah, like that would be the great equalizer, where like all of humanity would band together. I mean, I
Watchmen.
guess if there's an enemy,
Did
like,
anybody say Watchmen?
oh my God, Watchmen.
The fucking best.
Watchmen's an interesting one. I don't know if I would classify it as post-apocalyptic. Like, it's a manufactured mini-apocalypse for a very specific reason, which I fucking love. God, the Watchmen series is so good.
So
It's
good.
so good.
I heard that was good. I did not follow
You've not
for the
seen it?
movie,
Oh,
but I did not watch
Matthew,
the
you will love that.
series. Yeah,
Have you-
the movie was not
No,
something I enjoyed, but
forget the
I heard
movie.
people
Have you-
love the show.
Have you read the book?
Mm-mm.
Okay. Read the book and then watch the show, because the show is a sequel to the book, not the movie.
Yeah.
You
So
would,
it's not like
No.
a remake or interpretation of
No.
the book. It's just
It
like
is
a
a
follow up.
Straight
Okay.
up follow-up.
sequel. It is
That's
a
interesting.
sequel
Sorry, I didn't
to
hear
the
that.
book.
Okay.
Also, Matt, you would fucking love. I mean, you know,
Yeah, you'll
excited to hear
love
what you
it.
think of it, but you would love Watchmen.
Yeah,
The
you
book
will
is
love it.
real good, and the show is incredible. I'm like jealous of you that you get to experience this.
Yeah, I'm bummed.
I'm
bummed that I'm not you.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. Yeah, I think the movie like spun me in an opposite direction. It was like the Grandpa Simpson who takes off his like coat and then like goes right back out the door. Do you know what I mean? That's the experience I had with the movie. But
I would say
I know
that
so many people like the show. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, consider the source from the movie, and that kind of summarizes what you need to know about it. But like, the movie is, I don't hate the movie. Like, I don't think it's good, but like, I think the movie is a fun curiosity as
it's one
a
of my
fan
favorite movies of all time.
Watchmen, and it's one of Huber's favorite movies of all time. I've heard. Like, I think it's a fun curiosity as a big Watchmen like fan, but like it doesn't get it.
I love its ending more than the graphic novel. Sorry. Yep, that's my hot take.
I disagree.
Way better. Way better.
I disagree.
Way better.
I respectfully disagree.
I love it.
But let's let Matthew read the book first, and then we can all talk about it. Next month's theme: Watchmen. Anyway, I briefly asked our crew over at Patreon what they think, which apocalypse they think is most likely. We've gone long, so I'm going to just zip through these real quick. JG says, JG. Something like Last of Us might be believable. Not that they think people will turn into clickers, but a parasite or a virus that could spread across the world, and the way that civilization would crumble seems kind of realistic to me. Haley Nicole Miller says nuclear apocalypse. Carlito says most likely apocalypse scenario is probably a climate disaster, though nuclear holocaust has made a strong comeback over the last 2 years. Tokyo Slim, I think that in order of likelihood, disease, virus, reproduction apocalypse is 1. Idiocracy is 2. Solar flare apocalypse, robot AI apocalypse, and then probably aliens last. We didn't talk about like just smart people stopping breeding. Idiocracy is like feels kind of realistic. Solar flare could happen. Solar flare, like there won't be a post-apocalypse. The whole planet will just get cooked and we all die.
Solar flare, so intense. Holy shit!
I wonder at what speed would a solar flare move? Because light takes 8 minutes to get here from the sun. So like, the sun could explode, and because the light obviously will travel faster than the heat, we would see it before we died, so we would know about it. And then would we have 8 minutes before we died? Like,
the explosion could potentially go faster than the heat from a normal day. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, for
there
sure.
would be a propulsion from
but it would go slower than the light. So like we would see it happen before it would kill us, I think.
That'd be scary.
Some friends of mine in college, they had a short film called 8 Minutes where it's the last 8 minutes of human life because the sun died. And I'm like, that's such a cool fucking premise.
That is a good premise.
I asked patrons where they would go to survive. Super Sushi says, I don't have any survival skills, so I'd probably just stay home with my loved ones and wait to die. Wait for it to end. Codalito, my wife and I are currently building an Earthship-style house next to her parents in Brazil. Cool. It will be kitted out with solar. You've got an interesting life because I know where you're from, and that's a jump. It will be kitted out with solar batteries, wood stove, and rainwater collection and filtering, on top of being in a place where we can grow food all year round. So that's my apocalypse fallback. That's so cool. Earthship stuff is neat. Tokyo Slim says, depending on what it is, I may not want to survive. If it's zombies, I'm definitely getting on a sailboat and heading somewhere tropical and remote.
Fear the Walking Dead Season 2.
Is that what they do?
Yeah, they get on a little yacht.
There's a great, in World War Z, I think, in the book, there's a great sequence of people trying to get on boats and then realizing that zombies don't need to breathe. So, like, the underwater area by the boats is just swarming with the fucking zombies. So if you fall in the water, you just get fucked. It's like people are just dying trying to swim out to boats.
Oh, man.
Really
Walking
intense.
Dead is some good, like, barnacle zombies. It's good.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, they're just like, all barnacled up. It's good.
That's some Pirates of the Caribbean stuff right there.
Yeah.
Great soundtrack. Pirates of the Caribbean.
Pirates?
Shut up.
Yeah. Good budget.
Yeah.
High budget.
Disney, dude, they threw some money at it. I love that. All right, and then we'd like to end with just kind of like anything else you want us to talk about, patrons. We got a few cute ones. Super Sushi says, after watching Fallout, I really want a Pip-Boy, even though carrying it around seems way more cumbersome than just using your phone. What's something you saw in a show or a movie that you really want, even though it might not be very practical?
A lightsaber.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think like various means of conveyance, like hoverboard, that kind of stuff, I've always wanted. Like now I still kind of vaguely want a one wheel, even though like they're really expensive and kind of not safe, but like they really feel like snowboarding. And I kind of love it. I kind of want to get one, but they're $2,000.
I mean, the conveyance things definitely seem cool. Like in the Mad Max movies, or there's like these Italian movies like The New Barbarians where they have these vehicles that are just like kitted out with all kinds of things of like protection on them. Like not exactly dune buggies, but you just feel like you're in like little tanks. I want to feel safe when I'm driving around.
Yeah. Anytime I see that, I'm like, maybe I should go to Wasteland Weekend. Like, dress up and go there. Now that for some reason that made me think of the AI hologram girlfriend from Blade Runner 2049. No, I wouldn't say no. I wouldn't kick her out of the woods, if you know what I'm saying. Zorglas, the lesser known movies I recommend are These Final Hours, Into the Forest, The Last Days, Cargo, and The Beach House. I also nominate 2008's The Happening for the best apocalyptic comedy of all time. This is still from the apocalypses. I separated it by mistake. People try to outrun the wind, and Mark Wahlberg has never been worst. Instant classic. Yeah, The Happening is maybe one of the worst movies I've ever seen.
It's in my top 3 worst of all time. That and the number 23 are
that's a bad one too.
That always come to mind.
Chapter 27 also very bad. The Happening is incredible.
Incredibly bad.
How bad it is. It's insane. It's like they
insanely bad.
Like even in one scene, the acting will vacillate so intensely that it's like they. It's like, what is that? It's like the technique they used with Willem Dafoe in American Psycho, where they had him act with. In some of the takes, they had him act knowing that he's the killer, and in some of the takes, they had him act like completely not thinking he's the killer at all, and then they intentionally she like edited them both together so that you don't like so that you can't get a grasp on what people are how they're reacting to Patrick Bateman. Right, because it's like
a trip.
That's they did that on purpose, right? But there are scenes in The Happening where it feels like that is going on, but not intentionally. Like they're just talking outside of the train, and like Mark Wahlberg will suddenly be like upset in one take, but then fine in the next take, and then upset again. And it's insane. That movie's incredible. Cotolito says, we just finished the first season of From that recently made its way to Netflix. And dudes, I would really like to hear what you think of it. Oh, I didn't know it's on Netflix now. I've heard that show's actually kind of good. It's a mix between Lost and 30 Days of Night I never knew I needed. Classic anime of the month. Can really be only one thing. Fist of the North Star, this badass granddaddy of shonen action has apocalypse biker gangs and leather chaps and Bruce Lee style martial arts. Stay safe in the wasteland. Love and respect. Would Redline count? Is that an apocalypse?
The like racing one?
Yeah, Redline's sick.
Yeah, that looks great. I'm gonna get Fist of the North Star boxing for Switch.
Oh yeah,
it's like an everyday workout. Yeah,
we played that on a stream. Or we played some. I thought we did. Fede Krau says, my something else this month is a rant that may bring an interesting discussion. People that just saw Godzilla -1 now act like Godzilla is always meant to be an allegory for nuclear war, and Godzilla X Kong is a tragedy for not being as serious, as if Godzilla didn't spend the best part of the last 40 years fighting aliens in the Japanese movies. Or people that saw Andor and are now saying that Star Wars should only be about the seedy underbelly of the galaxy, because that's what Star Wars is meant to be, quote unquote. As if Star Wars 1977 wasn't also an homage to samurai movies and pulp stories. I do love both Godzilla -1 and Andor, mind you. They are just some of the best productions I've seen in the last years. I just hate that the conversation has devolved into. Godzilla fought dozens of monsters and aliens during the Showa era, and camp is in its DNA as well as its nuclear as well as the nuclear allegory. Clone Wars and Rebels deepen the Star Wars lore and mythology in ways that are still felt today in series like The Mandalorian and Ahsoka. And just because Andor is a masterpiece of television does not make those other shows less important to the franchise. Thoughts?
I mean, it's about what resonates with audiences. Like, you know, maybe in the 70s, people wanted Camp Godzilla in a suit, like battling monsters. But nowadays, like, they want either big spectacle Godzilla versus Kong, or they want like Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, or like Godzilla -1, where it's like deep introspective, like face down, you know, nuclear war.
I mean, that's always
humanity.
That's always been the thing that's so interesting about Godzilla to me, because it's like, yeah, it started out as a pretty gritty allegory for nuclear devastation, and then got more for kids and kind of fun and just kind of doing, like, Son of Godzilla is so cute. Like, I love that little guy. Jumping over Godzilla's tail, like, it's so good. He's a little cutie pie. He's so cute.
He's too much for me.
He's so cute. Shut up.
Too much for me. That's when it's like, oh, this is almost for like very young children. I mean, I'm glad they have it, but
Well, and that's the thing. That's the power of Godzilla. And then like the American ones, you know, are basically like we've talked about this before, but they charge him up with nuclear bombs. Like it's like an allegory. It's like pro-military almost. Like, it's just pretty wild stuff. So it's just interesting to see the two different takes on it. For me, the Andor thing is just like, I won't claim that that's what Star Wars should be. I'm just saying, like, that's the Star Wars I prefer. I find Andor a lot more interesting than certainly the sequel trilogy, because I thought they played it safe and it was awful.
Yep.
But Andor is like super interesting and actually cool. And like, since they refuse to like go outside of the bounds of this one middle period of fucking Star Wars,
fucking annoying.
And
that's why Fallout was so good, Isla.
Right, because it's Fallout 5. It's the 5. Next part of Fallout, which is canon. In canon, Fallout show is after the games, which is sick. Yep. Which is funny because like they have very obvious nods to like most of the games, to the extent where you're like, okay, that's the plot of 1. Okay, that's the plot of 3. Like, but yeah, it's a new thing. And like, they also are so afraid of getting away from like the family stuff. Like, I never want to hear, if they make a Star Wars after 9, the word Skywalker better not be mentioned.
Oh, it's confirmed already.
It's like history.
Daisy Ridley already confirmed that shit. It's coming.
They're doing another one?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Yep.
Well, that sucks because she's fucking Senator Palpatine's baby girl or whatever.
She's a Skywalker.
It's all going to be family lore all the time.
It's so dumb. Anyway, the fight that they showed for the Acolyte, actually, Carrie-Anne Moss was pretty sick in it.
Carrie-Anne Moss can't go wrong.
I love Carrie-Anne Moss. But she's doing that like Spike Lee kind of like Spike from Cowboy Bebop kind of like, or Bruce Lee, I mean, style of fighting where you just kind of like use their own momentum against them and you mostly dodge. Like, it looks really cool. I don't know. Her fighting style is cool.
Her Daisy Ridley Star Wars movie is not called Star Wars 10 though.
Good.
But movie with her.
I mean, I'm sure it'll be called like the something something.
The something Skywalker?
Yeah. Episode 10, the something something. The Fall of Skywalker.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be something? Duff says, check out Delicious in Dungeon for being a cute, action-packed show full of Baldur's Gate references. Confirmed the creators are fan. About a girl failure elf. I like girl failure as a hyphenate term. About a girl failure elf trying to rescue her girlfriend. Rescue her girlfriend from a dungeon with the help of the girlfriend's himbo brother. Sounds cute. A halfling going through a midlife crisis and a dwarf who just wants to make sure they're all well fed. He is the source of all the upskirts in the show and refuses to wear pants. Okay. You lost me a little there. It's especially fun for having so many neat takes on fantasy monsters and real world analogs, like mimics being hermit crabs and figuring out which cockatrice head is the boss. That's funny. I also got to see a screening of Hundreds of Beavers. Oh, cool. At my first Alamo Drafthouse screening. It's an indie silent film. Have you guys heard of this?
Mm-mm.
It's well, they'll describe it. So I'll pick up what they leave off. I haven't seen it, but it's an indie silent film / live action cartoon / survival game adaptation that I can't recommend enough. It's about a man trying to survive in turn of the century Michigan using cartoon logic to slowly ascend a tech tree complete with economy and the ability to skip portions through exploration and trade. It all ends in an infiltration mission right out of Metal Gear Solid. There was no budget for animals, so most of the extras are just guys in animal mascot costumes. 10 out of 10, one of my favorite comedies ever. Yeah, so I've only seen a trailer for this, and it looks incredible, but it like has been described as the most successful like real life cartoon, like Looney Tunes style cartoon, like the logic of that. And he's just being like beset with all these beavers, which is just like a guy. But like it looks amazing. Yeah, it looks really
Nice.
cool. Tokyo Slim finally says, 1 month from now, I'm shooting my first short that I've written, produced, and directed. So I'm stressed right now, and I'll be stressed until June 5th. Wish me luck. Yeah, break a leg, Tokyo Slim. Have fun.
Yeah, good luck.
Take it down.
The short he shared with me was really awesome.
Yeah, I haven't watched it yet.
TV Dad, very, very cool. I don't know if I'm allowed to mention it. Well, too late now. It
late.
was great.
Too
It was
late.
Can I run down my apocalypse list?
What's your top 10?
Fuck yeah.
Top 10.
Please.
Okay. So number 10, Cronenberg's Dead Zone. This is not in order.
Dude.
Chris
This is not in
Walken.
order, by the way. These are just
Well, then why did you say
10?
number 10?
Just because that'll help me keep track of how many I've mentioned.
In no particular order. We're just going alphabetical.
Yeah. So Cronenberg's Dead Zone, which is Christopher Walken, he's got premonitions of an apocalypse, of a nuclear apocalypse. And it's not Charlie Sheen. What is it? Martin Sheen? Yeah, Martin Sheen.
Yeah.
Who is president and kind of very Donald Trumpian, has a nuclear suitcase. And Christopher Walken's like, I gotta stop this. I gotta stop this guy. He's gonna start a nuclear apocalypse. And you just watch it all go down. You watch these things come into a head. It's great, especially if you like Christopher Walken.
Yeah, it's like it's basically like if you knew Hitler was going to be Hitler beforehand, like what would you do to stop it?
Yeah, it's based on a Stephen King book. It's great. And then the next one, Peter Weir, director of The Truman Show, Picnic at Hanging Rock. He does this movie called The Last Wave. It's a psychedelic movie about First Nations people in Australia who lived there for a long time, but it's about a wave that maybe might destroy the entire landmass. And it's got mystical visions in it. It's very cool. Very, very cool.
That makes me think of Apocalypto, where like
the
the apocalypse is just white people showing up. Or
similar, very
showing
similar, very similar metaphors going on there.
Yeah.
I also recommend Hiroshima Mon Amour. It's a French New Wave movie from Alain Resnais. Very early French New Wave movie. It's about a Japanese guy and a French actress, and they get together, lots of intimate close-ups, and they talk about Hiroshima and what happened there, and they fall in love. But a very real apocalypse. But one of the first French New Wave movies I saw as a teenager, and I was like, movies can be different. movies can be art as a teenager. But it's a great way to deal with Hiroshima, and a really interesting way to deal with a real apocalypse that someone actually had to go through. Highly recommend it. Kind of a romantic movie also. After this, Class of 1999. If you liked...
I've heard of that.
Yeah, if you liked Escape from New York, this is a wild B-movie take that's not as good, but maybe even more interesting. Malcolm McDowell from Clockwork Orange, Pamela Greer.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, they're military robots created by the CIA, and they run a high school overrun by violent youth biker gangs. Like, how cool is that? It's such a wild setup.
So
the whole country is run over by violent youth biker gangs, and they're set up in like weird.
Honestly, at this point, I would take it.
Yeah, yeah. So like the country is just like run by the CIA almost, and then it's like you're set up in this weird military encampment, and you're set up in this encampment. Okay, you're run by these robots. You're run by these robots, and the movie is just like focused on the ones run by Pamela Greer robot and Malcolm McDowell robot. And they face off against these punk rock biker gang teenagers. Oh, and there's like they shoot each other. It's incredible.
Sounds great.
So it's not quite apocalypse, but it feels like the country has just been destroyed by something. It's like in the middle of things. You're like, what the hell just happened to the country where this is the situation?
Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Mid pre-apocalypse.
Yeah. The next one is Stromboli. This is stretching apocalypse, but it's
everything counts.
For me, very apocalyptic. It's Roberto Rossellini. He did The Bicycle Thief, very famous neorealist Italian movie. But this one is a personal apocalypse. Ingrid Bergman, she gets escaped from a prison camp by this Italian fisherman. He brings her to an island and she's like, cool, I'm not on a prison camp anymore. I married this dude, but it turns out the island sucks. There's a volcano there and the husband is real shitty and he like slaps her around and she's just trapped there and like, oh my God, what can I do? And this volcano goes off all the time and sets off fire on this volcano. And she's like, I have nowhere to go. Am I going to die here on this island? She tries to like climb up past the volcano. Lava's going everywhere. That's just her life now. And so that movie's about how do you like live through a personal apocalypse. Very cool. Stromboli, one of my favorite movies. Ingrid Bergman, if you like her, it's one of her best.
Ingrid Bergman.
After that, another movie is called Day After. Not The Day After Tomorrow. Very similar, but it's called Day After. It was a TV movie in 1983. 100 million people watched this movie. That's like half the amount of people who watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
100 million people all watched this movie. It was about nuclear weapons getting set off in the United States and destroying all of the United States. Half the movie is just regular American life. John Lithgow's in it. Steve Guttenberg's in it. Jason Robards in it. And they're just like going about their lives. And then like they hear on the radio, oh, Russia's maybe doing something in Germany, but let's keep going about our lives. And then all of a sudden just shit breaks loose and like nuclear weapons destroy America. And it's like vivid and violent, like Terminator 2 levels, just people turning into skeletons and just like cities turning into rubble. And then they have to survive like in the aftermath. It's so gruesome. And I can't believe they put this on TV. And then everybody just, I don't want to spoil things, but people die after nuclear weapons go off and just, they have to like struggle for an hour and it's just awful. And I'm like, oh, they just put that on TV. Okay.
That's crazy.
Nice. And everyone for like 100 million people in America were just like shocked and devastated after they put it on just like regular network TV.
That's wild.
I love how bold it is. Like I didn't watch it at the time because I wasn't old enough. Like I was like a little baby in diapers when it came out.
Yeah.
But I watched it like recently and it's amazing.
Sick.
How have I never heard of that? That's wild.
Yeah. I only learned about it recently. Track it down. It's fun.
Some friends of mine were in Hawaii when that text went out that was like, hey, a missile is coming. Like they were there on vacation and the text, like an emergency alert went out that was like a missile is coming to the island. It'll be here in about 2 hours or whatever. Yeah. And like everyone was like, they were like, okay, I guess we're just all gonna die. Like they had there was nothing they could do. Like there was nowhere to go.
Where can you go?
And like all of them just kind of, like my friends were telling me, they just kind of like were out and they got some water and whatever, like, and tried to get back to their hotel room. But like, what are you going to do? You know? And they all kind of just like Toy Story 3'd it. They were just like accepting death, you know? And then like another text came out that was like, that was a mistake.
JK,
nothing,
LOL.
Yeah, everything's fine. Like that was an error in the system. I'm like, what the fuck kind of system is this? But that's the error.
Yeah.
Terrifying. Sounds terrifying.
Yeah. That was horrible. I remember because that was when Twitter was still Twitter and everybody could talk about it. Yeah.
All right. What's next on the list?
There's this Hammer movie called These Are the Damned. That's a really cool title. It's 1961. These kids are.
So far, I've seen one of these.
these kids are in a school inside a cave where they're taught lessons every day, and by a TV, and they're checked on by men with radioactive suits, and you don't know what's going on. It's a mystery what's going on. Like, why are men with radioactive suits watching these kids? Why can they only learn lessons on TV? And the mystery unfolds. I don't want to spoil it. It's pretty exciting to see what happens. But from 1961, there's some very sharp plot twists.
That sounds less schlocky than a lot of Hammer films.
It is like upper tier Hammer, like literary. It was based on a book. Very good. Less schlocky. Ingmar Bergman is the next movie. He has a movie called Shame. He has a movie set in, it's like his version of Civil War, Huber. He did a Civil War where you don't know what's happening in this war.
Dude,
it's between two unnamed countries.
Whoa.
And it's about a married couple in the middle of this war. Things are exploding everywhere. And it's about them falling apart and being like kind of selfish and self-interested when they're getting like put in prison camps and they start fighting with each other. Kind of like depressing the way Ingmar Bergman does all his movies, where it's just about like moral failings, personal moral failings. It stars Liv Ullmann, who is in all his movies, like Persona, and Max von Sydow, who is in The Seventh Seal.
Yeah.
Very, very good. I didn't know he did like a dystopian war apocalyptic movie. Like
That's
there's
crazy.
all kinds of like explosions and special effects. I didn't know Ingmar Bergman did that.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Very, very cool. It was in the middle of Vietnam was when he made this movie. He was just like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna make a war movie. So yeah. Very, very, very bleak.
What was the title?
Shame.
Shame. Cool.
Yeah.
Not to be confused with the porno one.
Shame.
Oh yeah, that crossed my mind. I was like, oh, is this the what's the guy's name? Yeah,
Fassbender. Old big dick.
That's what he was known as in college.
That's what they call him.
And finally, Paprika, the anime.
Oh, that movie.
Very apocalyptic. When the dreams take over reality, she's a scientist by day, and then she goes through everyone's dreams at night with the catchiest little tune you've ever heard in your life. I love that movie. It's one of my favorite movies. Probably like top 10, top 20 movies ever is Paprika. And then when those dreams explode with like just feels like you're losing your mind or they're losing their minds, and I don't know, I feel like that would be probably a big component of the apocalypse, in addition to horror, would just be like a sense of bafflement, you know, like why is this happening, what is this, like I don't even understand this. Paprika kind of captures that essence in a way few other movies do. That's it.
Love that.
List. 10 out of 10.
Yeah, very cool list. Jeez, I got a lot of homework to do.
They're just if any of those catch your interest, they were very fun for me. So
I mean, Class of '99 sounds amazing.
Class of '99 is
all of
very
those sound
cool.
great.
A friend gave that to me as a present. He was like, "This is your kind of movie. It wasn't mine, but it's yours." And I was like, "Okay." And then it was.
I love that when people are like, "I hated it. You're gonna love it."
Yeah, he was right. He was right.
This is yours. All right. That's good. Huber. Did you come up with any? What's your favorite post-apocalyptic movie?
The Walking Dead, the show.
Okay. Got it.
The Matrix and Children of Men.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I would throw Dark in there.
Men's great. Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks everybody. We will come back and episodes come out when we're able to, but generally close to the end of or the beginning of each month. And so for this month, we are thinking maybe sequels, maybe we got that as an idea, so we were thinking of maybe doing that. I will post a prompt in about 10 days on our patreon.com/reactionshots. If you want to get in on that conversation, you usually have a little over a week to get in your comments, so there's no real rush. And then we have an episode every month. There'll probably be 2 episodes in the month of whatever this month is, May. But because this one's coming out in May. Anyway, patreon.com/reactionshots. Jump in there, see what's what, And thanks, Matt. Thanks, Hubie.
Yeah,
we will
thank
see you
you.
next month.
Bye-bye.
Bye, everyone.